We make it on top. Top of the top. Top of the top, man. What's up with y'all, man? What's up with y'all, man? Monday morning, man. Mega Monday. Mega Monday. Mega Monday in the building. Perfect timing podcast. Everybody get on in here, man. Get on in here, man. Hey, is it top of the mid morning, top of the mid morning, perfect where you been, right? Oh man, been a birthday celebration, man, long birthday weekend, but he back, man, he back. Let everybody know he back. Let's let them know. Wake them up. Perfect Timing Podcast is live, man. Hit the like, share, subscribe, support your guy, man. Come on in, man. Trump news, giving the Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Everybody out there say, who's that first in the chat? Relax and talk sports. First in the chat, man. What's up, man? He might get that. He had that notification bell, man. You know it as well, man. You know when we going live, man. We got to thrive, man. He said, making Democrats boo-hoo. What's up with my good brother, man? You know we keeping it going, man. Another mega Monday, man. Mega Monday. And we going all the way. And we got another mega news cycle. I mean, if you a Democrat, man, you got... I mean, Trump and MAGA, if you a Democrat, you got to be woozy. I mean, you got to be head drunk because it's like every Monday and they got all the channels. I mean, my brother got to go to Truth Social to get it off. He can't even go to ABC. He can't even go to NBC. He can't even go to traditional media. It got to be the independent media. Then he got to go to Truth Social to get it off. So it's like, what we got to do out here in this world? You know what I'm saying? But what we did is we participated, man. We being proactive, man. So that's why we got this YouTube thing fired up and ready to go. Who is that coming in the building next? That's the Rug Man Puller. Woo! What he say? Hey, booby. Oh, my goodness. Mr. Tight Little. Let's link again soon. Hit me on. Wow. I mean, did you take the whole weekend? I mean, you had to create an email. You had to create a YouTube page. And then you had to make this joke that hits flat. You should have waited till more people was here, bro. I mean, you couldn't even... That's how you know when some trolls is real young, because he couldn't wait to get it off. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I got it. You should have waited till there was more people here, man. The Ukraine president. Yeah, man, you like that thumbnail? Yeah, man, I like that thumbnail too, man. You know, I be doing my little one too, you know what I'm saying? I got that thumbnail. Check out that fire thumbnail. Hit the like button as you come in. Like, share, subscribe. We doing that Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. That's what we doing this morning. Let's get the show started, man. Back at it like a crack at it. Automatic like a fomatic, built from tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last, so we're going to get this done to get this cash. How's everybody doing on this mega Monday? Fired up and ready to go. Every time we touch this screen, man, every time we touch the microphone, it's hot, baby. Sizzling. I told you it's a heat wave and it's getting hot in here. Oh my goodness, man. It's getting real hot, man. But check this out, man. We have a great topic. We got some good topics today, man. We got some good topics today. And we're gonna talk about everything we got to talk about today. Oh man. And I told you about my predictions. All we do is predict. All we do is predict. And I said to you, write it down, and watch my predictions. I said what we have been predicting. I don't know what it is. I think if you do, comprehension, this weekend I was talking about the level of comprehension. You know what I'm saying? So, but we have done some awesome predictions. We got some great video to validate some of our predictions. It wasn't hard to predict what was going to happen. And because you can watch the trends, you can watch the data, you can watch the statistics, and you can watch what people are asking for. And it transcending. This Trump, this Make America Great, when people see the results, I got a video where Canadians, check this out. I got a video where Canadians are apologizing to Trump. Conservative Canadians are saying we were wrong. We were lied to by liberals. We were lied to by the liberal media. And look at what Trump has done in America. I have a video of a Canadian conservative listing, like I said, from the tariffs, all of the companies Trump has reinvesting in manufacturing in America. 20 million, Hyundai, 30 million, company on top of company reinvesting in manufacturing in America. Why again here, liberals lied to you. Miss Time in the building with them emojis. See that special Donald Trump happy face? You could get that emoji right now if you join the channel for $2. Thank you for coming in. Support the channel, man. Like, share, subscribe as you come in, man. Top of the mid-morning podcast. Perfect time of podcast with that Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Yeah, man, we breaking this down this morning. Everybody hit the like as you come in. We got a lot to talk about this morning. We got Alaska talks, Zelenskyy squawks. You heard what I said? I said Alaska talks. Put it in the chat right now. Oh, man, Big Daddy Ken, Superman in the building. Big Daddy Ken is with the $5 super chat, man. Give him a thumbs up, man, for that $5 super chat. That's my brother right there, man. Finally in the building, man. We live every morning at the same time, same bat channel with the Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Make sure you double tap. Make sure you double tap. Boop, 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 boop. Make sure you double tap, like, share, and subscribe, because that's what we're doing right now, having a good time in this podcast world. Make sure you double tap, like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Let all my party people know that we live, man. We're going to have a rumpus conversation and debate. The chat already going crazy. We got moderators 5.05. Lazo in the building. I see you, Lazo, baby. I see you, Lazo, baby. Yo. I see everybody in the building, man. Hit the like button, double tap as you come in, man. Everybody come in. Travis, oh man, that's a great topic, man. That's a great topic. But today it's about Trump news, man, because we got so much to talk about, man. We got Alaska talks, Zelenskyy squawks. You know what I'm saying? We got Putin. Look, we've been talking about MAGA and why we all voted for Trump. A lot of people voted for Trump. Some people voted for Trump who never voted Republican before. We talked about whether or not Trump is actually a Republican. You know, I saw a great meme today where it says, I don't want any more politicians. Trump is a leader. There's a difference between a politician and a leader. And when you look at Zelenskyy, then there's no better example of a politician versus a leader, because you see how Zelenskyy acts in the presence of Trump. There's no hiding the fact that Trump is a born leader, natural leader. That's how he became a billion-dollar businessman. We watched Trump, you're fired. We watched Trump on The Apprentice for over 10 years, #1 show. Everybody wanted to be on The Apprentice, and we watched everybody who did not make the cut get fired. And those people that Trump fired actually deserve to be fired and were mediocre. But when we get Trump in the White House, and Trump is the same Trump from The Apprentice, and you can see when you sit next to Trump that Zelenskyy, if Zelenskyy was on The Apprentice, you're fired. You're fired. If Zelenskyy was on The Apprentice, he wouldn't make it one episode. It's how many episodes in the season? Zelenskyy wouldn't make it. And you can tell when you have Zelenskyy next to Trump. What is all the news? Wear a suit, Zelenskyy. We have global existential geopolitical issues. He shows up in a t-shirt. Zelenskyy shows up in a t-shirt. In a t-shirt. Everybody, all Democrats and social liberals, oh, Trump. Can you at least get the guy to wear a suit? If you want people to be afraid, you want people to be afraid of Zelenskyy and Ukraine, you got to get the guy to take it seriously. He's a comedian. He's an actor. We know he's a comedian. We know he's an actor. He was playing president on television. I've educated my audience. Double tap hit the like. We don't have enough likes. Double tap hit the like. $2 coming in on this super chat, man. Mrs. Perfect Timing. I've educated my audience about how we got it. See, this is the thing about the media versus the independent media who doesn't give you the background and the historical context of what's happening. I educated my audience going back to 2014. What happened in 2014? See, you know why the people don't want to talk about 2014? Because 2014 takes us way back to a time of your first black president. Oh, happy hope and change, Obama, your mama, your black mama and black Obama. Yay! Well, guess what Obama was doing while you were singing and dancing and chanting for the first black president? Obama and Sleepy Joe was in the Ukraine taking bacon. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know how we got here. Oh, 2014, there was a revolution and they took out the old leadership. But see, they told Putin that they wouldn't expand. See, the Democrats been in power for 15 of the last 12 years, and the Democrats been etching toward Russia. And Russia is a superpower, a world power. They want to put Ukraine on par with Russia. Ukraine is not on par with Russia. That's why Ukraine wasn't at the Alaska summit. Can we have a real talk this morning? See, what happened was in 2014, the Democrats over the past 12 years kept expanding NATO. Putin said, I don't care about what you do, just don't come in my backyard and poo-poo. Putin said, I don't care what you do, just don't come in my backyard and poo-poo. But what America do? America goes to Ukraine in 2014 and they give guns to Azov Battalion. Remember we researched the Azov Battalion? See, they don't talk about the Azov Battalion because the Azov Battalion was a neo-nationalist Nazi street gang in 2014. Did you know that? Let's get to the historical context. I said the Azov Battalion, we talking about Obama, we talking about Hillary Clinton, we talking about Joe Biden, and how we get here. Not in 6 months, because Trump only been president 6 months. Can we have a real talk this morning? Where did Zelenskyy come from? Where did the conflict come from? Why are we having a conflict? Why are we having a conflict? Well, the Democrats and the oligarchs who back the Democrats work with the oligarchs in the Ukraine. Ukraine was corrupt as a big dog. That's why Joe Biden and his son was in Ukraine being corrupt. Holy moly, guacamole. In 2014, the Azov Battalion was a neo-nationalist Nazi street gang. But, great America came over to Ukraine and helped create a coup. Did America do that before? What about Nicaragua? What about Libya? Let's not talk about it. What about South America? Let's not talk about Brazil. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about Yemen. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about Iran. Let's not talk about it. Let's just talk about 2014, where your beautiful Democrats started playing in people's backyard. Yes, they did. And then they gave a Nazi street gang credibility. They called them the Azov Battalion. See, this Nazi street gang became part of the revolution, and they got enveloped into the Ukrainian army. When you hear about us training Ukraine soldiers, America is training the new Nazis. And our children, when they go to their history books, and they study the Ukraine conflict, and they learn about the Azov Battalion and the "you will not replace me" theory, and neo-Nazis having a resurgence in Europe and Brexit, and the backgrounds of neo-nationalism in Europe around Brexit, they will come up with the Azov Battalion and neo-Nazis proliferation, and Biden and Obama giving them weapons and training them and allowing the Azov Battalion to become legitimized in the Ukrainian army. And the leader of the Azov Battalion became part of the parliament. I educated my audience on this. I told my audience about the Azov Battalion. I showed video of the leader of the Azov, Big Daddy Beer Gaming in the building. What's up? Happy birthday to the Leo gang. Leo gang in the building. Fire sign, fire emoji, lion emoji. Let's do an emoji game right now. First person to put a lion in the chat, first person to put a fire emoji in the chat, get a shout out, man. Right now, man. First person to put a fire emoji. Emoji game just started right now. Oh, Jack Swartz. Oh, man. Jack Swartz quick on the duck. You got to be quick, man. You got to be quick, man. I'm going to be looking for you, Jack. Who is that? Trigger Man AD. I'm going to be looking for you, Trigger Man. Universe, I'm going to be looking for you. I'm going to make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and double tap. Tap into your guy, man. Bang, 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 bang. Look at Ken seeing red with all the fire emojis in the chat, man. Ken, did you get your membership? $2, man. Get your membership. Freedom Fighters with that fire emoji. Light up the chat, man. Light up the chat, man. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Light up the chat. So what we have going on here, so we have people playing in people's backyard. I talked about Libya. We talked about Iran. We talked about South America. We don't want to bring up the 3 letters. We can't bring up the 3 letters. We're not allowed to bring up those 3 letters. But America, sometimes the Democrats like to play around. You see with Hillary, y'all remember Libya? I talked about Libya. Didn't I talk about Libya? Wait a minute. I'm going to get my shirt. When didn't we talk about Libya? Man, I was sad what happened to Libya. Rest in peace to those people, to our proud Americans in that embassy. And look at Libya now. Look at Libya now. So the Ukraine in 2014 went through a revolution. The neo-Nazis became part of the army. The leader of the Azov Battalion became part of parliament. When asked, why did you do this? He said he wants to create a world war. He wants a final conflict. The leader of the Azov Battalion said, this is recent, the leader of the Azov Battalion said he wants a global conflict, a race war. This is America. This is the people we're giving guns. These are the people we're giving money. Well, not Trump. Not Trump, not MAGA, not Trump. Can we have a real talk this morning? I just want you to be real with your brother. I just want you to be real. Hit the like button and double tap. I just want you to be real with your brother. I just want you to be real with your brother. See, Biden and Obama was giving money and being complicit to these individuals. When you study your history, a lot of you did you know who the Azov Battalion was? Did you know the leader? Did you know the leader of the Azov Battalion was enveloped into the Ukrainian parliament, the one that we support, not the old one before 2014, the new one, the new government. The new government has the Azov Battalion. The new government has the leader in the parliament. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Oh, so that the Democrats. That's how we get here. That's how we get here. So this weekend we gotta have peace talks because you want Donald Trump. Can we hit some likes? We need more likes. You want Donald Trump to save the day. You want Donald Trump to fix everything overnight like he's your daddy. Because people in the chat love to troll, but they don't like the facts. They don't like the math that I present. See, the math and the facts can't be disputed. What are facts? What are the facts, Perfect? What are the facts? Top of the morning podcast, Perfect Timing podcast. What are the facts? Are Trump has only been president 6 months. This conflict started almost 10 years ago. Can we have an honest, real talk today as Americans? See, we voted for Trump because we didn't want to be in Ukraine. Biden never had an Alaska summit. Can we have a real talk? Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. He never had any peace talks. Can you tell me about Kamala? Because Trump and Vance have already talked to Zelenskyy. See, you expect so much of Trump. Trump already had Zelenskyy in the White House in the first 30 days. So back in February, if you listen to the media today, they're upset because Trump Trump and Vance checked Zelenskyy in February. How long has Trump been president in February? Can we have an honest talk this morning? How long had Trump been president? You want Trump to fix everything overnight. Everybody wants, oh, I don't like Trump. He been president 6 months and he was not leader when these problems got created and proliferated. Can we have a real talk this morning? How long was Trump president in February? Because if you listen to media today, they will say the last time Zelenskyy was in the White House was in February. What I talk about, what JD Vance and Trump told Zelenskyy, don't tell America how to feel. Do not tell America shit. You are not in a position to dictate to America. And we all love MAGA, clapped it up. That was in February. Do you know? The criticism, you got to be logical with your criticism. Well, I love giving facts to the trolls. He had only been president 30 days. He took the office in January. Can we have an honest talk? But he knew Trump hasn't gone to sleep in 6 months. Trump hasn't gone to sleep. Sleepy Joe slept through 4 years. Trump hasn't slept in 6 months. He's been working every day. He's been doing 90 executive orders in 90 days. Can we have an honest talk? He already was talking peace within the first 30 days of his 4-year term. He had Zelenskyy at the White House. He's had Bibi Netanyahu at the White House twice. And this weekend, we had the Alaska talks, Zelenskyy squawks. We had Alaska peace talks, Alaska peace summit with Putin. And then Trump put out a Truth Social. Let's read the Truth Social that Trump put out. Trump said NATO off the table. NATO off the table. I like that. That should have been our title. NATO is off the table. Because why should we care about NATO? I like when Trump went to Europe and he said, if Europe doesn't start paying their part of NATO, did you know how much America pays into NATO? Do you know how much of the artillery and military might of NATO comes from one particular country, while all these countries in Europe benefit from America? Trump is the first president to say, why is NATO beneficial to America? When we have to pay for everything, we pay in lives, we pay money, we pay in military might. So he made rest of European nations understand that NATO is not no gift. Hello? NATO is not no gift that you just get the benefit from. No, you have to contribute. If you want this thing to be a collective and a bargaining team, then everybody has to put in equally. That's what the trade and tariffs are about. Can we have a real talk this morning? Because they try to trick you and talk about things in a bubble, but they are connected. They are interconnected. The trade deficit and the NATO deficit are interconnected. See, we had a deficit in securitizing the world because nobody in NATO was contributing properly, right? And there was a trade deficit. Europe didn't pay anything. Europe paid 0%, right? What's going on with my chat? What's going on with my chat? We fired up and ready to go. What's going on with my chat, man? I got to bring up the other side because what happens is the trolls go crazy and that turns people off. The trolls go crazy and that turns people off. We got to get some moderators, man. We got to get some moderators. I know everybody be having fun. And I want people to enjoy themselves, but you got to understand that my audience comes here for the facts. I have an older audience that skews older. I don't know where the trolls come from. All of my members and my subscribers comes here for the facts. I don't know where the trolls come from, but they show up every day. So let's get these people up out of here, man. Let's get these people up out of here. Trolls show up every day and then they disrupt the show. They disrupt the show, They disrupt the show and then people get turned off, man. So it's cool. They'll be back. They're gonna create another Americans don't pay the tariffs, Michael. Killjoy 375, as someone that works in the defense industry, the U.S. benefit from the weapons that our allies buy from us. I see actual work order. That is actually true. That is a great point to make because when I talk about when Trump dropped the bombs on Iran, that's a great little tangent. Let's go on that tangent, Killjoy, because a lot of the times when I talk about tariffs, I give a lot of background to my tariff opinion to the debate. And it's already happening. I'm gonna show the video. It's already happening where the reinvestment in America is happening. It's not a trade war. It was a trade deficit. These are trade deals. So Killjoy brings up a great point about how America makes its money today. America makes its money today. Okay, let's keep going. So correct, Killjoy is correct. Killjoy is correct. So the way I discuss this is a lot of the times is America used to produce its own goods, right? America used to produce the irons. America used to produce all of its own domestic goods. Our grandparents would never buy anything imported from outside of America, right? And there was a reason why. I showed the oyster goods. That's not true, Michael. And we can have a debate about that. I'm trying to find the person who is really, you have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to tariffs. Farmers in my state are going bankrupt because of them. Factory workers are being laid off as well. That's not true. That's actually not true. And there are no farmers in what state? And farmers in what state? Generally speaking, tariffs, taxes, imported goods are paid by the importer. That's not true. I've already debunked this. So let's have a discussion right now. And if you want to have a discussion, we can have a discussion. But if not, I'm going to get you out the chat because somebody is spamming the chat. Somebody is spamming the chat, and we need to get the person who is spamming the chat out of here, who is spamming the chat. Somebody is spamming the chat, but thank you. So check this out. Let's do the military industrial complex, and then we'll get to the tariff because it's all wrapped up in one, right? It's all wrapped up in one. But right now, today, we're gonna put that to the side because right now, today, we're talking about Zelenskyy, right? We're talking about Zelenskyy. So, Mike, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put you on timeout. We're gonna put you on timeout for like 30 minutes. If I might get to that, I might get to that. I might not. I might get to that. I might not. Right? I might get to tariffs and I might not. Let me put you on timeout too, because we got two topics to talk about. So I might get to tariffs and I might not. So y'all follow the topic. The topic today is Zelenskyy. And we were talking about 2014 and the neo-Nazi proliferation by the Democrats. I don't know why you want to distract from the honest truth and Trump meeting with Zelenskyy 30 days into his presidency. This is what we're talking about today because it's so tremendous and it's so true and it's so great. Trump meeting with Zelenskyy 30 days into his presidency when Biden never met with Zelenskyy. Can we have that talk? Biden, Kamala Harris, can you show me a picture of Kamala Harris talking peace and resolution with Zelenskyy or meeting with Putin? Everything they talked about, Kamala Harris went to the Ukraine and made the conflict worse. Kamala Harris insinuated that we were going to expand NATO. That's all that Putin wanted. And today, that's why the conflict is dwindling down because Trump said NATO is off the table. That's why Kamala Harris lost. That's why the Dems will lose in 2026. That's why the Dems are the lowest polling ever in the last 30 years. And it all has to do with these truths that are evident that you could not ignore, that did not happen overnight. We are only 6 months into a presidency. 30 days, Trump met with Zelenskyy in February. He's meeting with Zelenskyy again. In the first year of his first term, he has met. Think about all of these existential geopolitical conflicts that Trump came into office having to deal with. Trump had to deal with Ukraine. Trump had to deal with Russia. Trump had to deal with Israel. Trump had to deal with Gaza. Trump got to deal with Iran. That's that tangent that was brought up. Trump had to deal with inflation. Trump had to deal with economy. Woo! And look at what he's done. He met with Zelenskyy more than once. He's met with Bibi Netanyahu more than once. He's met with Putin more than once. He didn't go there. He made them come here. Can we have a real honest talk this morning? Trump made them come here. Putin came to Alaska. In case you didn't know, Alaska is America. Today we talking about Alaska summits. Do you know Putin? And he had the big red carpet, all of the pomp and circumstance. And the media, the liberal media, want to say, "Oh, why did Trump do red carpet?" Trump did red carpet because we want peace. This is the Trump. Trump is the great leader, the great negotiator. I want Putin to be like putty in my hands. I want Putin to agree with everything I want to do. So I'm going to give Putin all the respect that he believes he needs. Great regalia, great pomp and circumstances, huge red carpets, huge jets, huge parade. Come on, Putin, come on, have a sit down. We got to end this conflict, man. Not because I care, because you just killing your people, the Ukraine. But Americans Americans are concerned. MAGA elected me to bring peace to the globe. Think about it. How does Russia and Ukraine affect America? Think about it. This is America being a savior again. Double tap, hit the like. We needed 100 likes 5 minutes ago. This America being a savior again. Double tap, hit the like. We need 100 likes 5 minutes ago. Why do we care? And that's what people are saying. If Zelenskyy don't get his act together, what do we care about the Ukraine going back to Russia? What do we care? It doesn't concern Americans at all. They try to scare you and fear-monger you that somehow Russia is still the Cold War. It's not 1988, Gorbachev bring that wall down. It's not 1988, Gorbachev bring that wall down. See, Biden tried to scare you. Biden tried to say, oh, it's a Cold War over again. You had Kamala Harris. That's why they lost. You had Kamala Harris talking about it's a Cold War all over again, and we need NATO proliferation. And now we're in a conflict with Russia. Now we're in a conflict with Russia because they lied. It's not 1988. It's not Gorbachev. There is no wall. There is no Cold War, but there is socialism coming against America. You need to pay attention. You know what I thought about this morning? When I was doing my research on the podcast, I thought about Jasmine Crockett and the Texas Democrats. And a lot of times I talk about how great America is. I talk about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the framers. I talk about the checks and balances. I talk about how great this country is. And I said to myself, you know what's going on with Jasmine Crockett? Jasmine Crockett is using socialist Marxist tactics. What she is actually doing by taking people away from their job to be in the Texas House is socialist. She is trying to disrupt democracy. And I don't think anyone is intelligent enough and bold enough to call out Jasmine Crockett on what she is anti-American. Jasmine Crockett, AOC, the governors, the Democratic governors who accepted those Texas Democrats are anti-American. That is a socialist tactic. Why hasn't anyone called her out? Why hasn't anyone called out Jasmine Crockett on being socialist and Marxist and using socialist political tactics in an American political arena to stop democracy? As a Democrat, all you trolls, to stop democracy, that's what Democrats do. They burn up Teslas. They protest and they get bricks and they loot and they rob malls and they do socialism and they troll the chat, but they cannot handle the facts. The Democrats do violence, but they cannot handle the facts. And everything we talk about is facts and factual. Who told you about the Ukraine in 2014? Who told you about the Azov Battalion? Who told you about the leader becoming part of the parliament? How did you know? Did you think that we got to this conflict? And why do we have Alaska summit this weekend? Why did we have Alaska talks? Why is an actor president of the Ukraine? Why is Zelenskyy not allowing elections? Why is Zelenskyy not allowing elections? Who put that actor in power? The Democrats, your buddy Obama. Who put that actor in power? I need 100 likes. Double tap the screen. We need 100 likes 5 minutes ago. Who put the actor Zelenskyy in power? He was a television president. He never had held office in his life. Did you know that? The Zelenskyy that we're talking about this morning is an actor and a comedian. Did you know that? How many put a hand up in the chat? The Zelenskyy that we're talking about is an actor and a comedian. Who put him in power? He's never held political office. He always wears a sweater like he's a general, but he's never been in the military. He has no military experience, but he's a head of an army. He's a head of a conflict, and he's at the precipice of World War III, but he has no experience. Who believes that? Our children will not believe that. You hear me? Our children will not believe that. Who believe Zelenskyy is behind all of this? The actor, the comedian, the television star, wearing a costume, wearing like he's Saddam Hussein with the green with the arms and shit, like it's a TV show, and people are dying. This is a real geopolitical conflict. There are bombs being dropped, and Zelenskyy shows up in a t-shirt. Zelenskyy shows up in a t-shirt. He doesn't even wear a suit. Oh, you okay. You okay with, this is the thing with the Democrats. This is the thing with the Democrats. They okay with no election. That's why Kamala Harris didn't go to a Democratic convention. Who said Kamala Harris would be your candidate? Who said this? The Democrats is right on time. The Democrats is like a clock, a broken clock, right on time. Didn't Lincoln suspend elections? The elections is a war. Don't you got to suspend the elections? This is why you lose. This is why you lose, because you don't want democracy. You're all socialists and Marxists. You should die for an election. You should be willing to fight and die for your vote. No, I don't care if it's a war. They're part of me being a citizen. That's why Trump did. Oh, hold on. Let me respond to this. That's why Trump made that joke today. In America, we don't play about our vote. We don't play about our rights. I don't care if it's a conflict. I want to vote. Fuck what Lincoln did. I don't care if it's a conflict. I want to vote. I don't care if it's a conflict. I want to vote. That's what America is all about. And this clown is going to say, didn't Lincoln suspend elections? Well, that's how you get to Kamala Harris. Wait a minute. Let's talk about it. Who told you that Biden had cognitive decline? Huh? Because you don't believe in democracy. That's why these things happen to Democrats. Thank God Trump won, because we don't know who said Biden can't run for president, because Biden was pissed. Remember, Biden still wanted to run for president. Biden, we don't know who told Biden no. Can you tell me who told Biden no? Who told Biden he couldn't run for president? So that's number one for you magical Democrats, you socialists who don't love democracy. I'm going to call them out. Jasmine Crockett, the socialists in the chat. Let's call them out. Jasmine Crockett, the socialists in the chat. So number one, who said Biden had cognitive decline? Who leaked that to the press? Who told Biden he couldn't run for president? That's two questions right there. You need to answer that, because there's a king in the Democratic Party and you don't even know who that king is. So your king said Biden had cognitive decline and Biden couldn't run. Now, number three, your king, who you don't even know who it is, said the next president of the United States will be Kamala Harris and we're not going to convention. Who said this? Who made all of these decisions? These are major. It had to be a very powerful entity. Do you understand? Because Biden was upset. Jill Biden, his wife, was upset. They did not want to get out of the race. Do you remember how she went on Bill Maher? She went on Saturday Night Live. She was pissed. She didn't want to get out of the race. Do y'all remember? His wife was vocal. She didn't want to get out of the race, but somebody told her that they couldn't run. Who told the Bidens that they couldn't run? Who told the Bidens that they couldn't run? Who told the Bidens, huh? Who told? Damn, I gotta. Who told the Bidens they couldn't run? Who told the Bidens they couldn't run? Who told the Bidens who told Kamala she could be president? Who told Kamala she could be president? Huh? Who told Kamala she could be and who said we're not going to the DNC? Who took the democracy out of the game? Who took democracy out of the game? Vail Quest said, dude, who radicalized you? Have you not been following this admin for the last 8 months? It's a dumpster fire. Trump. So I'm just talking bye-bye. You're ignoring. Okay, I got you. I got you, homie. I got you, homie. I got you, homie. Thank you. I got you, homie. Huh? I got you, homie. Let's have a real talk this morning. Who is your king? I need my Black Panther shirt on. Who is your king? Because they don't want to. Every time we had this talk, there's no one intelligent enough to answer. Is it George Clooney? Is it George Clooney? Who is it? Is it George Clooney? Is it Michelle Obama? Is it Oprah Winfrey? Is it Jay-Z? Is it Beyonce? Who is your king? Do you even know? Alaska talks. Alaska talks. Double tap, hit the like. I needed 100 likes 5 minutes ago, man. Double hit the like, man. Double tap, hit the like, share, subscribe, man. Double tap, hit the like, share, subscribe, man. Y'all, man, I'm working hard this morning, man. We working hard this morning, man. We working hard this morning, man. Double tap, like, share, subscribe, man. We're going to get into the highlights of the Alaska summit, man. The Alaska talks, Zelenskyy squawks. You feel what I'm saying? We met with Putin this weekend. We met with Putin this weekend and we meet with Zelenskyy today. It's all about peace. It's all about MAGA. It's all about Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Let's get into the highlight. I got some videos we're going to show. I need everybody to hit the like. We need 100 likes on the double. Major trouble. What was that? I need 100 likes on the double. Major trouble. Let's go. Let's bubble. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So let's get into the highlights of the Ukraine. So where I started was no NATO. So first, let's start off with the Truth Social. Let's start off with Trump's Truth Social post because that was the beginning. Because that happened before Zelenskyy even showed up. We're gonna do the highlights. We're gonna do the highlights of the Alaska summit. Here, Trump's Truth Social post. NATO off the table. This is so important, man, because this, to me, if you ask, because a lot of discussion going to be had about why Kamala Harris, why she lost and why she's not running again in 2028. Kamala Harris is not going to run for office. She didn't run for governor in California because she would lose. Kamala Harris is not running again in 2028 because she would lose. And this is one of the key reasons why Kamala Harris would lose in a national campaign. And it is her lack of understanding. And when asked in CNN debates, y'all remember in the CNN interview, and everybody was so disappointed in her lack of performance. This is it. NATO off the table. President Zelenskyy of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants, and he can continue to fight. Remember how it started. Didn't I say that this morning? This morning I went back to 2014 and I said, remember how it started, that Putin did not want a conflict. Kamala Harris, in her speech, when she alluded to NATO proliferation, there was a deal between NATO and Russia, and it had peace. Trump is going to get that peace back again, but we need to get back to that deal. NATO off the table. And Zelenskyy needs to understand that NATO is off the table. And that's what today's meeting this weekend was about, is letting Putin know that what the Democrats said, what Kamala Harris said was wrong. We agree. And you know how this led up? We already told NATO that we would drop out of NATO. Do you remember? Again, it's so much happened in these first 6 months that people forget. Trump has accomplished so much in these first 6 months. It's easy to forget. But there was a NATO summit less than 45 days ago. There was a NATO summit where Trump told the members of NATO that they would have to pay their fair share or America would withdraw from NATO. That was not only a sign to the EU, Brexit, and the other members of NATO. That was a wave to Putin. I'll be honest. That was a wave to Putin to let Putin know where we stand, where MAGA stands, where Trump's America stands on this NATO issue and conflict that's leading to war, possibly global war. Trump just put all that to bed. Trump put that to bed first before he ever had the Alaska summit. Can we have a talk? Because we can't just be in the chat trolling and just make up what we want. We have to talk about facts. Trump, before the Alaska summit, sent out a tweet via True Social to Zelenskyy, putting the ball in Zelensky's court, letting Zelenskyy know, this is your ball. This is not my ball. MAGA had hired me to let you know this is your ball, and America don't want to play. This is between you and Russia. That's why MAGA hired me, right? That's what's going on. And also we had a meeting with Putin to let Putin know that the Democrats are not in control and NATO does not want to proliferate into Russia. Matter of fact, Putin, did you see my meeting? I met with NATO. Before we had this meeting today, I met with NATO and let NATO know that I would leave. I let NATO know that America would leave NATO if the rest of the countries did not contribute fairly, and that would mean if a conflict with Russia proliferated, NATO would have to contribute troops, bodies, and real money. And that changes this debate. See, right now, NATO is not helping with Ukraine. Do you know that? NATO is just sitting back and riding the Ukrainian Democratic Biden way. But Trump met with the Ukrainians. Trump met with NATO and said, look, we're not going to shoulder this by ourselves. And Trump said to NATO, we have been carrying the ball. You know, there's a lot that American people didn't know. How many people knew that before Trump told you? Trump had a meeting and told the American, I love Trump. Trump been with Doge, with a lot of these things, with NATO, with the Paris Climate Accords. Can we have a real talk? With the Paris Climate Accords. See, the Democrats and the liberals say, oh, Trump got us out of the Paris Climate, and then Biden put us right back in. But you don't understand what it meant. What it meant was we got back into paying everybody else's bills. Trump got us out of the Paris Climate Accord because we were paying, and China and the countries who are major competitors did not adhere to the regulations. That's what happened. Right now today, Gavin Newsom is trending. Right now today, Gavin Newsom is trending. You know why? Because Gavin Newsom failed California. California has the highest unemployment. Now, the people who subscribe here, the people who watch me, know I live in California. You've heard me talk about Gavin Newsom. You heard me talk about Tesla. You heard me talk about how Gavin Newsom lost Tesla to Texas. I talk to you when we talk today. We're going to talk about DC. We're going to talk about the violence in DC and jobs and how these things affect the violence in the gang and single parent homes and why California has the highest unemployment. California is the #1 sanctuary city. California is the #1 in crime and violence, and it's all interconnected to this high unemployment. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. But see, when you hear about Gavin Newsom's high unemployment, you don't remember, because you don't live in California. I live in California, and I remember Tesla, and I remember Elon Musk before Doge, before the presidency. Just like Trump, everybody used to like Elon Musk. Everybody used to like Trump, but he becomes president, no one likes Trump. Elon Musk gets in the White House, nobody likes Elon Musk. But the truth is, everybody had a Tesla. Everybody wanted a Tesla. People were on waiting lists for the Model 3. You paid double for your Model 3. Let's just be honest. All of a sudden, Democrats say burn down Teslas. They start burning down Teslas, but you were on a waiting list for a $30,000 car. You pay $60,000 for a $30,000 car. Do you remember that? I remember that. I remember that. Huh? I remember that. I did like Trump first term. Well, this is not even, we 6 months in. If you like Trump the first term, we're 6 months in. He met with Zelenskyy in February. He had only been president 30 days. He's meeting with Zelenskyy again. People who voted for Trump who were not traditional MAGA, not traditional conservatives, the one thing they wanted from Trump is they wanted peace. They wanted peace in the Middle East. They didn't want no more conflicts. How do you get conflicts? You have to have talks. You have to have summits. You have to talk to Bibi Netanyahu. You have to have Bibi Netanyahu. Why don't the liberal media tell and educate you and let you know how politics is done? He is the art of the deal. How do you get peace? To the trolls. They don't know. They don't know. I know they don't know. But how do you get peace? You have to have talks. You have to have a summit. You have to come to the table. You have to come to the table. You have to negotiate. And who better to negotiate? Would you rather have a Democrat, socialist, Marxist who wants to go to war and give your son body? Or would you rather have Trump? Trump, who knows the art of the deal, who already been making trade deals that benefit America. I think I'd rather have Trump. I think I'd rather have Trump. I think I'd rather have Trump. Yes, I would. I think I'd rather have Trump. Who knows how to make a deal? And the proof is in the pudding. Truth and Trump is not afraid to talk to people so that we get a deal. Trump has been talking to global leaders day one, and things have been moving forward. Let's go to the highlights. The highlights. So the post was, he suggested that the Ukraine concede territory, including Crimea. In Trump's post, Trump suggested that the Ukraine concede territory, including Crimea. Remember the Crimea debacle, annexed by Russia in 2014. Remember, I told you about 2014, and agreed not to join NATO. Remember Kamala Harris, the NATO debacle, to achieve a peace deal with Russia. These were shared just before a scheduled meeting with Trump, Zelenskyy, and Europe leaders in Washington. Trump's position appears to align with Russia President Vladimir Putin. Now, they say this like that's a bad thing, but we want peace, so we need their minds to be aligned. We need Putin to agree with Trump. Why would that be bad? This is the thing that the socialist Marxist Democrats are not telling you. If we want peace, then eventually Trump and Putin have to agree. It cannot be in your mind that if Trump and Putin come to an agreement that Trump is a Russian. You cannot think like that. You cannot be that stupid. You must understand how peace works. They have to come to an agreement. They can't do what Jasmine Crockett is doing, or else we will never have peace. If Trump was to get on a plane and fly to Alaska and not talk to Putin, we would never have peace. If Trump was to avoid the conversation like Biden did, we would never have peace. Do you guys understand? This is what's happening. We have to have talks, and we must come to an agreement in order to have peace. But they will put in your head that it is bad for Trump and Putin to agree. This makes no sense. It's idiotic. Trump's position appears to align with Russian President Vladimir Putin, stating preferences following their summit in Alaska, where a potential peace agreement, let me say that again, a potential peace agreement was discussed. Instead of an immediate ceasefire, the shift in focus and all call for territorial concessions has drawn scrutiny and concern from some European officials and analysts. So Trump, over the weekend, had what I'm calling the Alaska talks, or the Alaska summit, and they discussed a peace deal for the first time. It's only been 6 months. He's going to be president 4 years. How many people think that he'll be able to get peace before the end of his his second term? Trump, let's have a real conversation. How many people think Trump will get peace before the end of his term? He got 4 years. They already talking about peace. He got 4 years. He got 4 years in office. He did not start Ukraine. He just came into office. Biden, your buddy, your guy, and Kamala Harris saying that NATO needs to grow and Russia is the Cold War. The Democrats pushed us here. You guys don't want to be honest. You guys don't want to be honest about 2014. You don't want to be honest about Biden and Kamala and Obama pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. But that's what got us here. This didn't happen in 6 months. Russia did not invade Ukraine in January. This did not happen in January. Russia did not invade Ukraine in January. I'm sorry. It happened under the Democrats. Can we have a real honest talk? Can we have an honest talk this morning? Because see, everybody has an opinion. Everybody thinks they know everything, but they won't be honest. Let's be honest about the facts. This didn't happen 6 months ago. It started in 2014 under Obama and Biden and Hillary Clinton. It started in 2014 under Obama, Biden, and Clinton. Can we have an honest talk? This started in 2014 under Biden, Obama, and Clinton, and they gave guns and money to Nazis. That's what happened. That's when it started. And then Kamala Harris, if it wasn't enough what they did in 2014, Kamala Harris goes to the Ukraine and gives a speech without being consulted and talks about NATO proliferation. Why you forget? And that's how we got here. That's how we got here. And then after it happens, In the Biden administration, Biden doesn't do anything. Biden doesn't stop it. What does Biden do? Biden says we got to give Ukraine money. There was never a summit. Can we have an honest talk? There was never a summit under Kamala Biden. There was never a summit. There were never peace talks under a Kamala Biden. All we did was give Ukraine money and guns. We let the problem exacerbate. We let the problem proliferate. We let problems in Israel, Iran proliferate under sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe. Cognitive, he gotta go. Sleepy Joe. Cognitive, he gotta go. That's what happened. They gave money. They gave guns. Under Trump, we stopped the money. We stopped the guns. And now we're having a summit. These are the realities of Monday morning. And I'm a Monday morning quarterback. I'm giving you just the facts. Just the facts, Jack. Woo! Just the facts, Jack. Monday morning quarterback. Zelenskyy, oh my goodness. We got Putin on a red carpet. We got Zelenskyy talking about no more elections. We got the red carpet. Let's look at this video right here. Trump said if Zelenskyy don't have to go through an election, then Trump don't got to go through an election. What did he say? What you say, Trump? What you say, Trump?
Legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake.
You like this idea?
No.
Speaking of news, I got a question for you. This sounds insane.
Legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections.
No more elections. Right? That's what he said. During the war, you can't have elections. So Trump said, in 3 more years, I guess we're not having elections, Democrats. Because this is what the Democrats have said. You know what I'm saying? But also, I would like to show you guys, it's 2 minutes, so I'm not going to play the whole 2 minutes, but let me read this real quick. So there has been politicians, this didn't happen under the Sleepy Joe administration, but under the peace talks, guess what we learned? That Zelenskyy's Democratic mandate expired in 2024. Yes, there are politicians in the Ukraine coming out, speaking out against Zelenskyy. What they are saying is that they want to have a message that his Democratic mandate expired in 2024. European leaders do not represent the Ukrainians. We never elected them. For millions of Ukrainians, President Trump is the true president of Ukraine at the moment, far more than Zelenskyy. I urge that restoring constitutional order and the Ukraine people's right to have elections. I urge, this a guy in the parliament in the Ukraine said, I want to restore constitutional order and give the Ukrainians the ability to vote again because they would vote Zelenskyy out of office. Zelenskyy hides behind the Constitution to avoid returning Donbass, which he had the chance and time to reinitiate since 2019. Instead, he chooses war, canceled elections, and now uses Constitution as cover. Mr. Trump, we urge you to make the restoration of the electoral process in the Ukraine a mandatory condition for any dialogue with Zelenskyy and his entourage. Come on, buddy. Come on. Without elections, there will be no peace. This is coming from the Ukraine people. I don't know how many people have shared this with you. This is real facts and honest I'm giving out to you today. We, as elected representatives of the Ukraine people, believe that ending the usurpation of power is integral part of peace process you are fighting for today. Sincerely, Alexander Dubinsky, member of Parliament of Ukraine, political prisoner of Zelenskyy. That's what we talking about this morning. That's what we talking about this morning. We putting all the fake propaganda to bed. That's what we doing. We put all the fake propaganda to bed. Ozzy Cosby in the building. Ozzy Cosby in the building. How you doing, Ozzy? We've been having a good morning this morning, man. Hey, Ozzy, the trolls have been having their time this morning. I'm telling you, your boy, look at me, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. The trolls has been, oh man, it's been crazy, man. They are having a good time. I mean, Monday morning, I think it's a beautiful day. Some days it's just one of them days you just walk down the street, man. It just be troll, troll, troll. So, but thank you for coming in, Ozzy. Thank you for being a member. You know what I'm saying? You're not a troll, Velcrest. What is you? Just an idiot? Just an idiot? You know what I'm saying? Does anyone remember the Iran-Contra issue? I do remember Iran-Contra, guys, money and dope. Yeah, but we're not talking about that, man. Stay on topic. I'm going to get you up out of here. Stay on topic. Good morning. Where are you? Good morning, Rose. Good morning. Can I call you, Rose? Good morning, Rose. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing, man? Let's get these trolls up out of here, man. Get these trolls up out of here, man. Can I call you, Rose? Man. It's a podcast. I mean, I tell you, these clowns, you can't even have a podcast. It's a podcast, man. It's a podcast, really, man. Stick like glue, man. Stick like glue. Everybody coming in, hit the like, man. I needed 100 likes 5 minutes ago. Double tap, man. This is how you do it, man. Boop, 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 boop. Double tap, hit the like, share, subscribe right now, man. What you're watching, man. Top of the mid-morning, Perfect Summer Podcast. Back with the blast, in and out with a dash. Man. Yeah, man. Hey, it get hot here, man. It get hot here. That's my brother Ken with the jokes, man. Ken, man. Hey, Ken, you got a wrench. I know you probably at work. But if you see some people in the chat, you see Big Daddy Beer Gamer don't got no wrench no more. I took everybody wrench. You the only one with a wrench in the chat. You have to use the wrench. You can still be my brother, but I'm going to take the wrench. If you're going to be watching and I got to stop the podcast to get rid of the idiots. If there's an idiot in the chat, you got to get rid of them, man. I got to take your wrench. We got, when I did my analytics, we owe, everybody owe. So I did my analytics and everybody who watched me is like older than 40. It's a little small population of young people that watch. And the young people is the people trolling. The older people who watch don't appreciate the N-word, don't appreciate all of the idiot stuff in the chat. They want to have real interaction, have a real discussion so they can feel comfortable to be in the chat. An older person watching me not gonna feel comfortable to chat their opinion if it's filled with racism. So you the only one with a wrench. If you see somebody doing something when you hear, you gotta use your wrench. Gotta use your wrench. Denzel, that's a good compliment. Denzel is a good compliment, man. Denzel is a good compliment. I appreciate that. So what we talking about this morning? Trump news giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Zelenskyy at the White House today. We had Putin at the White House over the weekend. We got peace talks. Now let's get the highlights. I gave you highlights. Let's get the highlights from the meeting with Zelenskyy. Zelenskyy highlights security guarantees. Trump indicated that the U.S. would be involved in providing security guarantees for Ukraine as part of any peace deal, though the specifics of that involvement remain under discussion with European allies. Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, suggested that these guarantees could be similar to NATO's Article 5 protections, which entail collective defense among members. Path to peace. Trump expressed a belief that lasting peace agreement rather than just a ceasefire was attainable. What I just read, that's what he discussed with Putin over the weekend in the Alaska summit, and suggested a potential trilateral meeting between US, Ukraine, and Russia could be a key step toward achieving it. Now, we're already talking about trilateral talks. Think about that, man. We're in the first year of a 4-year term. We're not even at the end of it. We're only halfway through the first year of a 4-year term, and we're already at trilateral. Can we get some props for MAGA this morning? And it's a mega Monday. And we got some props this morning. Peace deal, trade deal. You get a deal, you get some peace, you get some peace. How about we all have a better America? Woo! I love it, Trump. Trump is on his game this morning. Emphasis on diplomatic situation. Zelensky signals support for a diplomatic way to the end of the war. Highlighting when I said diplomatic. When you say diplomatic, when you say a diplomatic ending to the war, what did I say? Diplomatic means in a trilateral talk that all three men will have to come to an agreement. It reminds you of what's that boy named? Churchill. Y'all remember Churchill? Y'all remember the summit after World War II? You remember those talks? You remember those trilateral talks? You want to remember? You have to come to an accord, Jasmine Crockett. You can't get on the plane. If we get trilateral talks, Jasmine Crockett, you can't get on the plane and not come. See, everybody has to come to these trilateral talks. And part of the pretenses of coming is that you come with the pretense that we are coming to an agreement, that I might have to give a little to get a little, but the goal is peace. The goal is peace. The goal is peace and democracy. True democracy. See, true democracy happens in discussion and debate. True democracy happens in discussion and debate, right? And then you have an agreement. So today, we couldn't have Zelensky with Putin today because it's not magic. Do you understand? We didn't have Zelensky with Putin. We didn't have trilateral talks this weekend because it's not magic. But what Trump did do is set the stage within the first year of his 4-year term, and that had not been done. And since 2014, we never had a discussion about peace. Since 2014, trilateral discussions were not on the table. Now, then they want to distract you. They want to distract you with a ceasefire. Who want a ceasefire or who want trilateral talks that lead to peace in a greater globe? I want a greater globe. We voted for Trump for a greater America. MAGA, make America great again. I want a greater globe, right? So trilateral talks that lead to peace, a lasting peace where documents come out of those trilateral agreements, where then Ukraine has something to move forward with, Russia has something to move forward with, the EU allies feel that they have been compensated, and we have a lasting peace. I don't want no ceasefire. What does the ceasefire get us? What does the ceasefire? The ceasefire just gives you a pause. We pause, and then the Democrats come back, and the industrial military complex that we discussed on the tangent earlier comes back to make money, because you have to understand what's really behind this is money. There's a lot of money being made in the Ukraine. When you talk about purchase orders and missiles, and yes, and arming the Azov Battalion, there's a lot of money to be made. When you talk about what's his name? What's Joe Biden's son name? Hunter Biden. And remember the phone call, the boardroom call with Joe Biden getting millions of dollars for his son. See, there's a lot of money to be made in Ukraine in the conflict and post-conflict. So you are very right, because when I said that with tariffs, you're going to bring manufacturing back to America. But manufacturing, what does America make now? America makes guns and missiles. What does America sell? We don't make irons anymore. We don't make TVs anymore. We don't make couches anymore. We get all that shit imported from China. What does America make? We make the missiles. The missiles we dropped on Iran. The biggest missiles outside of a nuclear missile, we make aircraft carriers. We make the jet planes. When y'all saw, the Democrats used to scare you, but when Trump dropped those bombs, they started saying, how many bombs does America have compared to China and Russia? And people started saying, man, there is no competition with America. Finally, that's why Trump did the right thing by dropping that bomb on Iran, because people forgot. They listen to the Democrats and they think China is this great country, that we need to be scared of China and be scared of Russia. Why did China and Russia sit down when Trump dropped those bombs? They know the truth. that America has way too many missiles. America has way too many planes. There's no competition. But see, the Democrats, China's this great thing. Russia, no. If Russia is barely holding its weight with the Ukraine, what do you think Russia would do in a conflict with America? That's what this has shown everybody, that there is no fear. Americans have nothing to fear from Russia. The Ukraine is holding off Russia. What would an American army do when we have more weapons? We have more missiles. People forgot about that. So what MAGA wants is for America to go back to what it was. Ukraine, NATO, you police your own streets. That's what Trump said. We're not going to protect you anymore because NATO is not beneficial to America. That's what led up. That's why this tweet resonates so much with that other side. When Trump said NATO off the table, see, it resonates because of the NATO summit that Trump had, where Trump put NATO on blast for not contributing fairly. Just like with the trade deficit, NATO has not contributed fairly, and not just monetarily. We talking about in physical capital, in actual physical capital in Afghanistan, in Iraq. How many soldiers did you send, NATO? How many soldiers did you send compared to American lives? How much money was spent by you compared to American dollars? Trump is the first president to say to NATO, this agreement is unfair. It's unbalanced. That's what the tariff trade deals are about. We live in a trade deficit. Nancy Pelosi in 1996 said the same thing. We are in a trade deficit. It is bankrupting companies. It is keeping American wages stagnant. They have businesses closing left and right. We have no choice but to address tariffs. We can no longer afford the $5 toaster. That is so prolific. Do you understand how prolific that statement is? Because we cannot literally and illiterally, we cannot afford the $5 toaster. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough political capital. We have to move away from cheap, disposable Chinese imported goods. Does that mean that the toaster will go up? Yes. My grandmother's toaster was $20 to $50, but it had a lifetime warranty, and it was made of steel, and it was made in America. Yes, you will pay more than $5 for a toaster. I'm never saying on this channel that tariffs will not lead to you paying more for your toaster, but the goal is that you no longer get the toaster from China. Because China, it doesn't benefit China to import the toaster anymore. Because where's the profit? I'm only charging an American $5. So it has to cost me 20 cents and I pay the rest of the money in shipping. But what happened was there was zero tariff. So I could ship the toaster to Walmart and I could still make a couple bucks. You buy it for $5, I still make a couple bucks. But what was the exchange? The exchange was Walmart kept minimum wage at $7. The Democrats refused to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour. So you got stagnant wages. So China sent you a $5 toaster. You got a $5 toaster, but you also got $5 minimum wage, and it's been there for 15 years. The toaster still costs. Remember Black Friday? Black Friday started 15 years ago. We got all excited for Black Friday. We waited in the morning. Black Friday, $5 toaster, $5 blender. I get a $5 toaster. Ooh, it breaks. My mama hate Black Friday. She didn't want the $5 toaster because it breaks. She grew up with the toaster from Sears and Roebuck. And the oyster toaster from the cartoon, it weighed 20 pounds. You drop it on your feet, you break your toe. Remember, you could open the bottom. You could put big pieces of bread. You could put a bagel. It's a huge toaster. She got it from my grandmother. My grandmother bought it from Sears and Roebuck with a lifetime warranty. The cord was thick as a rope. The cord was thick as a rope. My mama hated the $5 toaster. Why? Because you get up on Sunday morning to make toast and the toaster burn the toast. The toaster burn the toast or the toaster don't work. It's disposable, mama. It only costs $5. It's not going to last. You don't get a warranty on a $5 toaster. No, you don't get a warranty on a $5 toaster. You know what you do? You go back to Walmart. You go back to Walmart, and we all line up on Black Friday again. We all line up and give China our money. We throw away money at China. The plastic ends up in the ocean. Listen to this. The plastic ends up in the ocean. Because the toaster is not going to last. They don't make it to last. They're not making it for Chinese people. They're making it for poor Americans. See, Americans are poor. The minimum wage in America has been stagnant for 15 years. So China's workers are getting rich. China's quality of life goes up. But Americans' workers are poor, and all they can afford is a cheap, disposable, throwaway toaster, $5. Do you know you live in a $5 economy? You live in a $5 world. If you know my mother, she would look around the house and she'd go to somebody's house. If they got all them $5 appliances, she not staying because they know what type of person. You live in a $5 house. You got a $5 toaster, a $5 blender. You know the Ninja Creamy, it's plastic. Come from China. You pay $2. You live in a $5 world. Everything is plastic. You buy a brand new car and it got plastic. You got to pay $100,000 to get premium interior, to get metal, to get wood. American cars used to come with wood on the outside. American cars used to come with wood paneling on the outside. You got real material when you got leather, wood, steel, American muscle, steel, iron, steel, wood. In a Chinese, Japanese import, what do you get? Everything, even in the BMW, plastic. Even in the BMW, plastic. You got to pay so much money to get wood. Why? Why? Because they know Americans will accept the lowest of the low. For the past 20 years, you haven't wanted more. You haven't wanted a better life. You haven't wanted a better toaster. You haven't wanted a better car. That's why Elon Musk can bring the Tesla and Americans could be, ooh, Tesla. Because we have been looking at the same interiors of cars for over 100 years. We never got a different interior. Everything plastic. As soon as everything went to Korea, nothing looks different. Everything is. So Elon Musk comes in with premium interior, all white, all leather, big screen. And the kids are like, why did my mama drive that car? Why did my mama drive that car with all that plastic and pay so much money for a car with all that plastic? No more disposable goods. No more disposable goods. That is what we're dealing with when we talk about the trade deficit. That's what happens when billionaires expect over. That's right, ASB. That's right, ASB. Japan did it before Korea. Come on, man. Y'all pay attention in the chat. Michael De Los Santos is actually fake leather, vegan leather. Oh, my God. In a BMW. In a BMW. In a BMW. Tell them about it. I work in healthcare IT. I work in hospitals. I work with the nurses and doctors who buy the BMWs, the I, the Qs, the Mercedes. They have reused. Some of them have cardboard. And the BMW markets it like that. The BMW markets this I series with cardboard, reused cardboard, vegan leather for a BMW, for a premium vehicle that's imported to you. That's what you, and that is your level of expectation. That for a luxury item, I'm going to pay a luxury item and I'm going to get plastic. I'm going to get disposable. I can't resell it. I can't reuse it. That is what they sell to the American public. And the Democrat socialists want you to believe that that's a good thing. BMW made the car for you. The BMW, vegan leather, that's how stupid they think Americans are. They're going to give you plastic and call it vegan leather. They make so much money. And then we pay extra. You pay more for the plastic vegan leather than you pay for real leather. Can we get a laugh in the chat for that? Can I get a laugh emoji for the idiots, for the liberal, socialist, Democrat idiots who pay more for vegan leather than real leather? Can we get a laugh emoji in the chat? We got to get a laugh emoji in the chat because that's how crazy this thing is. That these guys pay more for the vegan leather plastic. What's a great name? It's hilarious. Vegan leather. Mom, what is it, little Timmy? What is it, little Johnny? Mom, what is vegan leather? Mom, what is it, little Timmy? What is vegan leather? That's a woman past the wall. Oh man, women don't go past the wall, man. Women don't hit the wall. Women don't hit the wall, man. What is vegan leather? That's when a woman hits the wall. She used to have leather. Now she got vegan leather. Oh shit. Woo! Now she got vegan leather. Oh my God. Mom, what is it, little Timmy? What is vegan leather? Is that velvet? Oh man. Gorilla says I'm showing off my moose knuckle. Who want moose knuckle? I want moose knuckle. Oh man. Who want moose knuckle? I want moose knuckle. I want deer foot. I want moose knuckle. I want the real deal. I don't want vegan leather. I want that moose knuckle. I want the deer foot. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Somebody said, we got to get another troll out of here. That bill that passed that made this possible were voted and approved by both parties. I dare you to read this. So you must be new here. If you're talking about the big, beautiful bill, so the Democrats, we're talking about a cheap toaster, $7 minimum wage. The Democrats saying, oh, I can't pass $15. I can't pass $15. Joe Biden takes $15 out of the bill. So that's why we're talking about this, right? So the big, beautiful, 12 years, sup, brother? Ozzy Cosby in the building. The big, beautiful bill gets passed in 6 months. The big, beautiful bill, $1 trillion legislation, biggest bill in the past 10 years. Biden, Dems don't touch it. Big, beautiful bill, $1 trillion bill passed in 6 months. You make an excellent point. Why did the big, beautiful bill go through the House like butter? Why is Jasmine Crockett, why didn't they get on the plane and not vote for the big, beautiful bill? Can we have a real talk? Can we have an honest talk this morning? Why didn't the Democrats get on the plane and not vote for the big, beautiful bill? Is this microphone on? Is this microphone on? Thank you for saying that, brother. Thank you for saying that, brother. Why didn't the Democrats? I love my audience. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I love you. Thank you for dealing with the trolls. I truly love you and appreciate you. Why did not Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Hakeem Jeffries get on private jets and not vote for the big, beautiful bill? Why did they allow the big, beautiful bill to pass with no argument? Can we have an honest talk? He is correct. This is what the Young Turks said in their debate. Amanda Seals in her debate. Why did the Democrats did not fight the big, beautiful bill? Because they benefit. They both voted for the big, beautiful bill. Why? Because you have millionaire Democrats. Nancy Pelosi worth $200 million. Maxine Waters worth $20 million. You have multi-million Hakeem. You have all these millionaire Democrats. Jasmine Crockett with $1 million makeup, $1 million wigs, private jets. The Democrats did not fight the big, beautiful bill and all the tax cuts to the rich. Can we have a drum roll, please? Why didn't the Democrats fight the big, beautiful bill? Because the Democrats are the rich. 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 And they want the big, beautiful bill. They benefit. Who gets a tax break? You get a tax break. You get a tax break. Nancy Pelosi gets a tax break. Maxine Waters gets a tax break. All your favorite Democrats who are millionaires, guess what they get? They get a tax break. All the Democrats is in the 1%. All the Democrats is in the 1%. Your favorite Democrat is a millionaire. His favorite Democrat is a millionaire. Well, God dog. Well, holy moly. Do the Democrats benefit from the big, beautiful bill? Wait a minute. Because CNN said the top 1%. The CNN said above this much gets a discount. See, CNN said that these people get a tax break. Well, wait a minute. Some of our Democrats, they are in that tax bracket. Wait a minute. Most of my Democrats are in that tax bracket. Most of my Democrats, most of my Democrats, most of your Democrats, most of my Democrats are in that tax bracket. Isn't that something? You mean there are multi-millionaire Democrats who did not fight the big, beautiful bill because they benefit from the big, beautiful? Why don't people talk about that? That was a great comment from the chat. That's why I said I love the chat. God bless the chat. Shout out to the chat. Why didn't the Democrats fight the big, beautiful bill? Because your favorite Democrat is a multimillionaire and you're not in that tax bracket. Can we have an honest talk? I want to talk to you. I want you to listen. I want to talk to you this morning. Can I talk to you this morning? Can I have a talk with you this morning? You not in that tax bracket. I agree. You think I don't agree? I love Trump. I voted for Trump. You think I don't know there's things good and bad about the big, beautiful bill? I agree with you. I'm not in that tax bracket. You not in that tax bracket. I'm not in that tax bracket. Okay, let's be honest with each other. We're both not in that tax bracket, but who is in that tax bracket? Your favorite Democrat who did not say a word about the big, beautiful bill until it was passed, until they got their tax cut. Can we have an honest talk? The Democrats did not say anything about the big, beautiful bill until it passed until they got their money, until they got their money. See, they're millionaires. The Democrats are rich. The Democrats benefit from the big, beautiful bill, so they let it pass. They even voted for it. After it passes, then they talk about it once they got their deduction. Once they got their deduction, then we can have a talk about the big, beautiful bill. But wait a minute, Jasmine Crocker, it already passed. It passed in 1 week. I want to have a real talk with you this morning. Do you want to have a real talk? I want to talk to you. The big, beautiful bill went through the Congress like butter. It passed in 1 week. Can we be honest? I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. The big, beautiful, there was no one got on a plane. Let me give a real example. In Texas, they are trying to redistrict to get 5 more seats. The Texas Democrats did not agree. So they got on the plane and left. Did any Democrat get on the plane and leave and not vote for the big, beautiful bill? Did any Democrat protest the big, beautiful? Did you see people on the steps? I've seen Congress people, when they don't want a bill, they protest, they get on the steps of the White House. I didn't see no Democrats protest the big, beautiful bill. Did you see them get on the plane and leave and vote? The big, beautiful bill went through the office in 1 week. It went like butter. It was one news cycle. You think it would take how long did it take Obama to pass the Affordable Care Act? Biden, the Green New Deal, Trump got the shit done in 6 months. It went through the House in 1 week. And people want to troll my chat and not be honest about who your Democratic Party is. Yes, your Democratic Party voted for the big, beautiful bill because they benefit from the big, beautiful bill. And they're going to lie to you. They're going to lie to you in 2026. You still won't have $7 minimum wage. It is Buck Rogers. We got robots. We got Mars. We got SpaceX. And you make less than $10 an hour. It will be 2030. We don't have a super train. Japan has 20 super trains. We don't have a super train. We don't have a next generation airport. We don't have super jets. We don't have none of these things. And you will be making less than $10 an hour in the new Web3, super semiconductors, quantum computers, and your children will make less than $10 an hour in this new computer age. It's slavery. I need you to understand the Democrats want you to be slaves. Joe Biden took 15. They've been in office 12 years. They've been in office 12 years. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Patricia said, hi, Patrick. Oh my God, how stupid this is. Talk about it, Patrick. And no caps in my chat, man. We put you on timeout, man. Don't you know how to be respectful? Come into the chat, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Don't come in here talking smack in all caps. Put this user on timeout. No caps, homie. No caps, homie. I can see you. We can read. No caps, homie. All right. Put this user on timeout. I don't know how to participate. Man, today has been the day. Boy, I had to do some cleaning up today. Steve said hi. What else? Literally. Steve said hi, man. Let me get this guy up out of here. Get these clowns up out of here, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's have this conversation, man. Let's have this conversation, man. All right. All right. All right. So now what's next? Let's get to our predictions, man. Let's get the double tap, like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe to your guy, man. Get it out there, man. Get it out there, man. Get it out there, man. We gave that topic enough time, man. We really talked about that, man. Because I'm really because MAGA, think about Dave Smith, Tim Dillon, all these fake MAGA, supporters, these podcast comedians that they claim has so much influence during the election. So that's, a lot of these guys jump ship on Trump. When Trump did the Iran thing, and a lot of these guys said, I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't mean to vote for Trump. Trump, why did you do that? And, a lot of people jump ship on Trump. So today is like a lot of what I've been saying. I'm very proud of Trump. I'm very proud of MAGA. MAGA, we've been through a lot. Come on, man. Let's clap it up. MAGA, we've been through a lot, man. We've been through a lot, man. And our predictions have come true. Our faith in Trump has been resilient, and our faith in Trump has come true. Trump has met with Bibi Netanyahu twice for peace. We're leading to peace in Israel and Gaza. This is the second meeting with Zelenskyy. He met with Zelenskyy in February, 1 month into his presidency, because he promised MAGA that he would solve the Ukraine on day one. So he met with Zelenskyy in February. He put Zelenskyy in check. Now he's meeting with Zelenskyy a second time. But now, after an Alaska summit with Putin, shout out to Trump, in that summit, in that Alaska talks, him and Putin agreed to come to a peace agreement. Now, Democratic, I like that. I like the word I just created. Democratic media will say that they prefer a ceasefire instead of a peace deal. Trump said, forget the ceasefire. I want peace. We want a lasting peace deal and resolution. And Trump said the next meeting, now remember, this is the second meeting. He already met with Zelenskyy in February, meeting with Zelenskyy again. We had a major summit over the weekend with Putin. He said, next, we are ready for trilateral. How do we get to peace? How do we have to make a deal? And thank God we got the art of the deal in the building. We have to make a deal. So now we are going to trilateral is the next step in the peace process. There was nowhere. This is a step-by-step process. It doesn't happen overnight. Trump hasn't been president for 1 year, and he's already at the final stages of peace. Trump is already at the final stages of peace. It isn't even in Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Come on, man. I'm so fired up today because a lot of people turn their back. They said Trump was wrong for Iran. They said Trump, but look at what's happening today. Oh, man, you should have stayed down. You should have supported your president. You should have believed in MAGA. He said, make America great again, and that's what's happening. I see it right now. Man. And they are mad because Putin never met with anybody else. Putin didn't show that level of respect to the last administration. So they don't want to be honest about what's coming. The trilateral talks, more peace, and Trump fulfilling his campaign promises. Hold on. They keep coming back. I'm going to get them up out of here. I'm going to get them up out of here. My mama done told me that this is a bad boy. That comes for dinner. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Let's get them up out of here, man. Let's get them up out of here, man. Let's get them up out of here, man. So we excited. We excited about that. And now another prediction to come true. Another prediction of ours who came true, man. So we talked about DC, you know. We talked about DC. We talked about DC, and we talked about the truth around DC. And I told you, a lot of people on the channel, we predicted. So some people predicted Milwaukee, St. Louis. So when we had our talk about DC, right, what we said was, number one, DC wasn't the first city. I said DC, like, the media hasn't been honest about Trump and the National Guard and Trump taking over DC and what led up to DC. So number one, I showed video. We showed video and statistics of the DC crime steadily upticking, especially during the last administration. Now remember, I keep telling you, we only 6 months. Trump just took office in January. So this issue in DC has been going on, and whether you know it or not, and I'm going to present proof to you, video proof to you, what's happening in DC has been going on for years under the Democrats. And it had been exacerbated under the Democrats. And they had a Democratic mayor, and you had Democratic chief of police. And I showed video of the last administration interim police begging for help. We need help in DC. I showed video of the Oakland. We need help in Oakland. We need help in Chicago. We need help in Milwaukee. And in my research today, in my title, I said Chicago or Shreveport. They said Shreveport has got some of the highest violence in America, and one of the highest murder. So let's Shreveport high. I want to know about the high violence. So people are saying that. What's next? So let's in the chat. Who you think gonna be next? Who you think gonna be next? And I'm gonna show some video. High crime in 2023 experiences near increase in homicides, reaching 74, one of the highest totals in record history. This translates to a murder rate of 41 per 100,000 people, which is higher than many other Louisiana cities. Ranking among dangerous cities, Shreveport City was ranked among the 10 most dangerous metro areas in 2022 overall. So the crime rate is escalating in Shreveport. I didn't know about Shreveport crime. So that's why I saw that today in my research. So we got people from Shreveport, people from Chicago, and people from Milwaukee, people from Oakland begging for help. This is before Trump. This is under the Biden administration, under the beautiful Democrats. People in these cities, in these democratic liberal cities that are broke because you don't have a tax base, and you had defund the police, so you have less police officers. Now you have less money to pay police officers because you have less people working. This is the result of these protests and socialist Marxism. People not going to work. People not trusting the police. People not trusting policing. Right? So there was an actual downstream effect to all of these things that you guys instituted through your socialist Marxist protests. Huh? You defunded, even in these cities and states that didn't want to defund the police, there was a trickle effect that affected police and fire departments because people moved. People stopped going back to work. That affects tax bases. That affects his tax dollars. That affects the ability to pay police officers. So what happened? What was happening in DC, Chicago? You had single parent homes that were propped up. See, that's why we all voted for Trump, because we knew about Proposition 2025. I knew Prop 2025 was about bringing back fathers, family, God, and country, because our cities were being taken over by thugs who come out of single parent homes. So thugs from single parent homes, kids running around the city in lawless cities, lawless sanctuary cities. where they can commit crime and be released the very next day and commit crime again. I gave you stories about in not Shreveport, but in St. Louis, where they have a juvenile point system. Well, juveniles are carjacking, similar to what happened with big balls in DC. Juveniles are carjacking with guns, and because of a democratic, liberal, socialist point system, they don't go to jail. You got to have a whole bunch of points to go to jail. So these liberals say, let them out because it's not their fault. It's the community's fault. So they carjack the very next day. So in DC, you've been having crime in DC. Liberals legalized marijuana in DC. The police chief of DC said, I need help. I don't have enough police. And now with legalizing marijuana, there's a loophole in the law that allows these kids to sell marijuana without a license, and crime is generated around the sales of the marijuana. Though not illegal, it's still an illicit drug. But it's not illegal anymore, but there is crime associated with the sale and purchase of the drug. And I don't have enough police officers to deal with the crime associated with the sale of medical marijuana, which is a drug, which is a drug, which is a drug. He had been begging for help. The Democrats don't say what was going on. We all saw DC, crack riddle streets in Chocolate City. Black mayor, black police chief, black mayor, black police chief could not get the crime under control. If you cared about crime, if you cared about the National Guard coming into DC, you would have when you had a black mayor who was smoking crack. When you had a black police chief, you would have fixed the crime. You didn't fix the crime. You didn't fix the crime. You know what you did? You begged for help. You said we don't have enough money. We don't have enough police. So what happened in DC? What happened in DC? So they had 20, 30 kids running around. And I did the math. I said, how many police officers are there in DC? Well, they're down 1,000 police officers. They used to have close to 4,000. They have 3,000. I said, how many people are in DC? It's like 700,000. I said, wait a minute, that doesn't seem like an equal representation. How can 3,000 police officers protect several 100,000 Americans? And then I said, on an average night, are all 3,000 police officers on the street? I knew that was a stupid question because there's no way all 3,000 police officers are on the street every night. You would hope that all 3,000 are on the street every night. Maybe 500 with overtime and extra money because he said the city can't afford. Typically, we have 30 to 40 police officers on duty. We have an additional 500 on the street. So anywhere from 500 to 700 officers on the street. And most of that is overtime money that the city can't afford. Can we have an honest talk today? There's no one being honest. Is there any police officers in the chat? Most of the officers who are policing your city streets are on overtime budgets that the city can't afford. The city is running at a deficit, but we can't not take the police off the streets because the people outnumber the police. If the citizens figured out that it's like a 1 to 300 ratio, how do we keep peace? They needed help in DC. They needed more boots on the ground. And guess what? Guess what I got today? Hire more police. I knew when they said defund the police that would have an adverse effect on low-income communities. I said, you defund the police in a low-income neighborhood, and they are going to suffer. Police officers won't suffer. The people in that community with no police will suffer. So that is what happened. I knew that was a horrible idea. Defund the police? How does defund the police help an inner city community with high crime? It created more violence, and a different type of violence, a brazen type of criminal exists now in sanctuary cities that they never told you what is a sanctuary city? Oh, you don't go to jail if you steal $1,000. Oh, you don't go to jail. I thought it was about immigrants. It's deeper. Why didn't they just tell us? Why didn't the Democrats just tell me? Why didn't the Democrats just be honest about what a sanctuary city is? I might not vote Democrat. I'm not racist. I want people who commit a crime to go to jail. Does that make me racist? Because I don't want a sanctuary city? See how the Democrats do it? The Democrats say, oh, you're a racist. You want ICE to come here? No, I don't want ICE to come here. But Gavin Newsom and the mayor of LA protects criminals simply because they're immigrants. No one protects black criminals. They've sent 60 Crips to jail. But Mexican immigrants get to be in the cartel and live lawless in sanctuary democratic cities. Can someone explain that logic to me? Why LA is ran by cartels and illegal marijuana and the Los Angeles mayor is okay? See, DC was not the first city. Los Angeles was the first city, and Los Angeles needed the National Guard. Yes, Los Angeles needed help. It was riddled with gangs and cartels, and we all know it. We saw people going to Los Angeles getting murdered. How many of us saw everybody getting robbed and murdered in Los Angeles and said, where are the police? Why can you go to Los Angeles? It's Disneyland. We're supposed to be able to visit Disneyland. And what was happening in Los Angeles before Trump put the National Guard? Well, if you went to Los Angeles, you got robbed and you got murdered. That's what happened in Los Angeles. Can we be honest? So the first city where Trump sent the National Guard was Los Angeles, and they needed it. The second city where Trump sent the National Guard was DC, and they begged for it, and they needed it because they didn't have enough boots on the ground, and they had 30 young people running around. Who's going to be the next city? Bradford Davis said, used to live in LA, bro. It's not like that. I'm going to put you on timeout for lying because I'm in California. You act like you talking to somebody in Kansas. I'm going to put you on timeout for lying. I'm not going to take time to go on a tangent, but everybody knows that illegal marijuana runs California, Oregon. So you're going on timeout for lying. Cartels don't run California. What are you talking about? You're smoking crack. So let me show you the truth, because there's trolls in the chat. Let's show the truth about what's really going on in America. Y'all want to see what's going on in America? And I want y'all to put in the chat, who going to be next? Is it going to be Chicago? Where's Trump going to send the National Guard? And, okay, look at this. Where do you want Trump to send the National Guard? I need 100 likes, y'all. We need 100 likes, 20 minutes. Double tap the screen, man. Hit the ellipsis in the top right-hand corner, man. Top right-hand corner, touch that. That's called the ellipsis, man. It's going to give you the ability to hit the like. Double tap the screen. You can like or dislike, man. Let's go, man. Who going to be the next city? Chicago, Shreveport, Milwaukee, Oakland. What's the next city?
At the end of the day, everyone complaining.
Who going to be next?
Complaining. The only ones upset are people who complaining. The only ones upset are people who don't even live there and just hate Trump. At the end of the day, everyone deserves to feel safe in their own community. Complaining. The only ones upset are people who don't even live there.
Those are people from DC. The people in DC are saying that Trump has cleaned up the city and now people want Trump to come to their city. Other cities are saying, Trump, will you come and clean up our city like you cleaned up DC? Take a look at this. This is DC. Before, it would be crime and people running around the streets. This is a post showing how safe DC is now. No homeless. Look, no homeless. No homeless. All that was homeless people. Look at that. Everything cleaned up. Anybody from DC? Anybody from DC? Look at this American city. I'm telling you, San Francisco don't look like this. San Francisco downtown, all homeless, feces on the ground. Look, sidewalks clean. Sidewalks clean in DC. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look how safe DC looks around 10:30 p.m. on a Saturday. This is how it should look. I don't care who you are. Everyone should thank President Trump. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Everyone should thank President Trump. DC, why don't they do the whole story? DC is clean. DC is clean. DC is safe. DC is clean. DC is safe.
The National Guards to Chicago.
Huh? Who? DC is, who's going to be next? Who's going to be next? What city going to be next?
Hey, Trump, you need to bring the National Guards to Chicago, man. You got kids killing kids, man. That's not good, man. Washington, D.C., there's not much going on compared to Chicago. I'm running. It's a war happening right now in Chicago, man. Hey, look, man. Look, go on the news, or go on Google, type Chicago. I'm going back home to Africa, man. I can't. Too much going on, man. In Chicago, man. Yeah. Hey, Trump.
Okay. Who gonna be next? People are seeing the results of DC, and now they are begging for Trump to come to their city and clean up their city. We got people in Chicago saying, "Can I be next?" They have people in Chicago saying, "Can I be next?" What is the next city? What is the next city? Is it going to be your city? Do you want Trump to send a National Guard to your city and clean up the city? Come on, man. DC is clean.
Better than they have ever been before. We will take over our horribly run Washington, D.C. and clean up, renovate, and rebuild our capital so that it is no longer a nightmare of murder and crime. We're going to get all the graffiti off the marble. We're going to fix the roads and the medians, which are falling down all over the state. Washington, D.C. will become a symbol of beauty, security, freedom, and strength.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Can we talk about it, man? I predicted. So now there are people who are asking Trump to bring to Chicago. They are asking in Chicago for the National Guard. They are asking in Shreveport, Louisiana for the National Guard. They are asking in Shreveport, Louisiana for the National Guard. They are asking in Oakland, just like they asked in DC. So who's going to be the next city? Who's going to be the next city? Come on, man. They'll never be honest with you. They'll never be honest with you. I think Chicago. Chicago, Milwaukee, Shreveport. I want to know what's going to be the next city. I want y'all to tell me in the chat. We need 100 likes, man, on the double. Who going to be the next city, man? Who going to be the next city, man? Who going to be the next city, man? And we deserve it. The American people asking for it, the American people deserve it. James Comey, 64-year-old man, he just put a video out saying that listening to Taylor Swift helps him deal with another man. What's wrong with these people, man?
Myself into a lot of trouble with the folks in Paris and the folks in London. But you know what? That's the fact. They are no longer recognizable.
I want to see what I had another city. I had another was Shreveport, Louisiana, but hit 100 likes, man. What y'all wasting time on the likes? Hit the double likes, man. Double trouble on the likes. Oh man. I'm gonna say Shreveport. Who gonna say Shreveport? Who gonna say Shreveport? Let me see. I'm looking for that article I had. It's Gavin Newsom who said that. Gavin Newsom was saying, look at Shreveport. Man, why isn't Trump sending National Guards to Shreveport 6-time per capita murder rate? State, rather than insulting Shreveport about its crime rate, what they say is false narrative. During the interview this week, Brian Taylor Cohen, Newsom criticized President Trump police takeover in Washington, D.C. and previous National Guard activations in Los Angeles. I told you that D.C. was the second city. This is Gavin Newsom admitting that L.A. was the first city. We right here talking about what's going to be the third city. Come on now, I found it. Let's rock. During the interview this week with Brian Taylor Cohen, Newsom criticized President Trump's police takeover in Washington, D.C. and previous National Guard activations in Los Angeles while invoking Johnson's hometown of Shreveport as an example of crime chaos. I think Trump should start with Shreveport, Louisiana, in Speaker Johnson's district that has 6 times plus the per capita murder rate of Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco. Newsom said in an interview, what about the carnage, Mr. President, in Shreveport? Why aren't you protecting? And what I say Shreveport is next.
In this country, red states, what bullshit? Yeah, well, I think
I say Shreveport is next.
To start with Shreveport, Louisiana, in Speaker Johnson's district that has 6+ times the per capita murder rate of Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco. What about the carnage, Mr. President?
We going next. We going there next. Thank you, Gavin. We going there next. What about the high unemployment, Gavin Newsom? What about you losing Tesla? But that's okay. We going to Shreveport next. I'm telling you, what's the next city in the chat? Come on, man. What's the next? We going to Shreveport. We going to Chicago. The National Guard. We going just like we did in LA. Y'all think there's a National Guard in every one of these major cities. All Trump did was initiate the National Guard in LA, right? The same thing. Did y'all see it in DC? Those boys need a job. Those boys came in on the train. Those boys came in by bus. You know what they don't say about DC? They say Trump takeover, but those are American boys. Those are American boys. Trump takeover. What you mean Trump takeover? DC was full of crime, full of homeless, needed help, and then he sent in our boys, our sons. They didn't come in on no $1 million jet. Jasmine Crockett. The young men who came to D.C. to help clean up the D.C. were just that. Our sons, young. I saw them come in. They didn't even have cars. They're not even rich. They're young men. They came. Some came on the bus. Some came on the plane. They had their rucksack over their back, and they came to D.C. to help, to do what the president asked them to do. These are American boys. National Guard. Why you can't give them their props and they did a good job? Even if you dislike Trump, can you give the National Guard, can you give them young men their props? Can you give those young men their props even if you dislike Trump? How about that? Because those are young American boys who had a job to do. And they did a great job by getting the homeless and getting the crime out of Washington, D.C. Can they get their props? They deserve their props. Who saw those young men coming there on the Greyhound? Who saw those young men coming in? They're getting a little salary. You know what it is to be a National Guard, weekends only. Thank you, Ozzy Cosby. Salute, Evelyn Moore. Gas high. Gas higher than when Obama and Biden. Gas is low. And gas has been going down ever since Trump. Gas and eggs and inflation is down. We can Google it. Is gas cheaper? Is gas cheaper now than Yes, gas is cheaper compared to a year ago. Google it right now. I just did it. You can do it too at home. You don't have to be an idiot. You don't have to say stupid things in the chat. I just Googled it, very easy. Is gas cheaper now than a year ago when Biden was president? And Google said yes. Gas is cheaper. Inflation is down. Eggs are cheaper. Let's ask Google, are eggs cheaper? You remember how much eggs cost? Are eggs cheaper? Are eggs cheaper? Yes. Egg prices have been going down. Yes. Let's ask Google, is inflation down? Is inflation going down? Yes. The overall inflation rate in the US has been trending downward. Hello. Trump is winning. These are facts. I'm not going to a Republican site. I'm not going to a Republican site. Of course, California is expensive. That's right, baby. You can Google it yourself. You can Google it yourself. Gas is cheaper. Gas is cheaper. And they address California. Thank you, Ozzy. What does it say here? Yes, gas is cheaper now compared to last year. In California, average price of regular gas is $4.40, which is down from $4.60 a year ago. The national average is also lower than last year. The national average is also lower than last year. The national average is also lower than last year. You can't hide these facts. Eggs are cheaper. Inflation is down. This is why the Democrats are doing so poorly, because Trump came in with a long list. Trump came in with geopolitical conflicts. Trump came in with inflation. Trump came in with skyrocketing prices. Trump came in with an immigration hole. Do you guys remember our border had a hole in it? Democrats and Republicans said, okay, 20 million people was enough. Can we have an honest talk? Democrats and Republicans said 20 million people is enough, Biden. And they wanted Trump to close the border. Whether you agree or not with the people who came here, Trump won because an overwhelming majority of Americans wanted the border closed. During the Biden administration, the border officers handed out water. We saw people come across the border without going through the proper process, and the border officers giving out water bottles. And all of us said, that seems kind of weird. So Republican congressmen went to the border and said, why are you giving out water bottles? And they said, Biden administration said we can't arrest anybody. Trump changed that day one. And day one, the immigration problem stopped. Does he get credit for that? Does he get credit for that? Sleepy Joe handed out water. Joe Biden is Donald Trump is handing out a kick in the ass. Donald Trump said, get out of my country. Donald Trump said, you're getting arrested. Donald Trump said, no more water, no more food stamps, no more hotels. And magically, would you believe it? It's almost like Disney magic. Magically, nobody wanted to come anymore. What happened to all those caravans of people? What happened to all those 10,000 people coming from El Salvador? 20,000 people, caravan coming from Guatemala. All of us is like, who is helping these people? Who's giving them food the entire way? Who are the NGOs behind bringing millions of people to America? Who is paying for this? Who is paying for this? And then 30,000 people get to the border and Joe Biden opens up the border. Joe Biden says they refugees. Give them water. Give them asylum. Give them food stamps. Give them hotels. You don't get water. You don't get asylum. You don't get food stamps. You don't get a New York hotel. And we voted for Trump because we wanted it to stop. Day one, Trump empowered the border agents to lock up the border. Don't give out water. Don't give out food stamps. Don't give out hotels. And magic, just like magic, Nobody wants to come anymore. Ain't that something, Biden? Biden, all you had to do was stop giving away. Democrats, how about you stop giving away welfare? Stop giving away food stamps. Maybe people won't come. Maybe people will go to work. Just stop giving away things to people and incentivizing bad behavior. What's happening in DC? What's happening in Shreveport? Well, Democrats incentivize bad behavior. Democrats incentivize single parent homes so that the little teenagers could run around the street like little hoodlums. 20, 30 people running around DC streets. Not anymore. What happened to those gangs of youth? Remember, just last week we had gangs of youth running the DC streets where you couldn't even go out for a walk. They carjacked a girl. Do y'all remember how this started? 20 to 30 groups of gangs of teenagers in DC, Chocolate City, black mayor, black chief, 20, 30 black teenagers running around the city lawless. 20, 30 black teenagers running around the city lawless, committing crimes. They carjack a girl. Big Balls, Doge White House employee, sees the little girl getting carjacked. He intercedes and damn near gets beat to death. Big Balls, White House employee, young man, very young man. Thank you for being so brave. I pray that you're doing better. I pray that you're going back to health. I pray that you go to counseling and deal with the trauma from what you went through, you and that young lady. And thank you, President Trump, for getting the National Guard to protect American citizens from the lawlessness and the crime. So you got single parent homes, the children from these single parent homes running around Washington, D.C., 20 to 30 deep at a time, just committing crime. Now, you can laugh and you say that's not true, but you haven't been listening for the entire 2 hours, because what I talked about is the lack of police presence after defund the police. Because you say, okay, 20, 30 kids running around DC. How is that possible? Well, DC only has 3,000 police officers, down 1,000 after defund the police. DC has several 100,000 people living in DC. So you do the math. How many officers is that per person? 3,000 officers for several 100,000 people. I asked Google, so do you have 3,000 officers on the street? No, we can't afford 3,000 officers to be at work. See, when I asked Google about how many officers are typically on the street in DC at one time, Google and the AI response was, it costs a lot of money to keep police officers on the street. So we have up to 500 police officers on the street at night in DC. But that's all overtime, which is why I don't have more than 500. I would have more police officers on the streets, but I can't afford it. Can we have a real talk? Can we have, DC needed help. DC got out of control because there was not enough boots on the ground, because defund the police negatively affected low-income Democratic communities. And that was a socialist, Marxist chant, defund the police, defund the police. And now you need help in DC. You need help in Shreveport, Louisiana. You need help in Milwaukee. You need help in Chicago. You need help in Los Angeles, because the American people don't realize the truth about the facts on the ground in major American democratic cities, that we are at a tax deficit. When after the pandemic, people did not go back to work. Cities are suffering. You don't have as many people working as you did pre-pandemic. You don't have the money to pay overtime to police and fire. We saw it in LA, where you did not have enough engines. You did not have enough firefighters. You did not have enough water, because post-pandemic, you are short at the fire department because of Democratic mandates that mandated people get certain things done to them. They disagreed. They quit being fire department. They quit being nurses. They quit being police officers. We have a shortage of nurses. We have a shortage of firefighters. We have a shortage of police. So you had to fund the police in conjunction with liberal Democratic policies from the pandemic that led to shortages at police departments in major cities. After that, cities today, cities like DC, Oakland, Milwaukee, Chicago are having problems hiring staff back to pre-pandemic levels. They cannot get their staff back to pre-pandemic. They are offering millions of dollars to be police officers in some of the worst cities in America, and they cannot hire the staff. They are offering in benefits and salary in Fremont, California, and certain places in Oregon where the murder rate skyrocketed, out there in Tacoma, Washington. They are offering upwards of millions of dollars for brand new officers, up to $2 million in benefits, and they can't get them. They still short officers. They in Boulder, Colorado, still short officers. No matter how much money they offer, this new generation, there was a poisoned mind state from those BLM protests. The young people don't want to be police officers. So young people don't want to be police officers because they heard the BLM protests. They heard all of that. They said we are Marxists. They said we're socialists. They are disrupting democracy in America. So young people don't want to be police officers. That's why you have us in DC. You do not have enough police. You have police departments struggling. They are struggling for personnel. They are struggling for funds to pay overtime. Why do you hire? Well, listen to this. Listen to this. Why do they have to pay overtime? Because they don't have enough officers. If they had more officers, then they would just put them in shifts. They didn't have to pay overtime. They have to pay overtime because you have a smaller police force, and you need that smaller force to work more hours. So then the officers make mistakes because they're overworked because you don't have enough officers. This is the truth. It's happening in major cities. Chicago, Detroit went bankrupt. Vallejo went bankrupt. Flint went bankrupt. You know what happens when an American city goes bankrupt? That's the first thing that goes down. Police and fire. Police and fire and teachers. They don't have enough money to pay teachers. They don't have enough money to pay fire department. It's expensive to have. We saw that in LA. You know what they didn't tell you? The Los Angeles mayor was not honest. The Los Angeles mayor was not honest about the fact that we have a shortage of firefighters because the city can't afford to pay overtime or hire new firefighters. Los Angeles was short on fire engines. The LA mayor sent 9 engines to the Ukraine. The Los Angeles was short on water reservoirs and short on hydrants because the city is short on money. They didn't tell you that they can't afford to pay the firefighters. Do you know there was a guy on Bill Maher? He said his house was saved because he had a private fire department. His house was not burnt down because he's a millionaire and he hired a private fire department. They came to his house with a personal fire engine and protected his house. And Bill Maher said, that's not fair. Why don't we? And LA burnt down because they did not have enough fire engines. And we never talked about why did an American city, LA is supposed to be rich. LA is supposed to be one of the richest cities in the world. How could Los Angeles run out of water? Can we have a discussion? How could Los Angeles, now you know why Los Angeles was the first city that Trump sent the National Guard. See, Trump didn't send the National Guard to DC first. He sent the National Guard to LA first because LA is a failure. And that fire was the first thing where he knew I'm going to have to take over LA because these guys just let LA burn down. Gavin Newsom and that mayor Lance, what's her name in LA? They are responsible for Eden burning to the ground. They are responsible for the lack of water. They are responsible for the lack of personnel. They are responsible for the lack of fire engines. And they want to push everything on Trump. But you let an American city burn down. You let and what have you done to this day to make sure if another fire comes to LA, where is the water going to come from? Have you created a new way to hire more firefighters? And do you have the money to pay them? Because you use prisoners. So what they do in California, because they can't afford to hire new firefighters, is they use prison labor, prison fire camps, and prisoners make 35 cents. Can we have a real talk? Because we're broke. As an American people, we are broke. We are using slave labor in California. Gavin Newsom should be ashamed of himself. Why don't anyone call Gavin Newsom out on using slave labor? Because you can't afford more firefighters. Why doesn't Gavin Newsom get called a slave master? Why doesn't Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, who refused to pay the fire camps? Anyone live in California? Anyone know about the fire camps? Anyone have family members on the fire line? How much money they make, and when they get out, they can't work as a firefighter. That's right. Let's blame it on Trump. Let's blame it on Trump. Let's blame it on Trump. Do you know who was fighting the fire in California? Prisoners, slave labor. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, you like Gavin Newsom, huh? Fuck slave labor. Let American City burn down. Trump was justified for going to LA. LA needed help. DC needed help because the Democratic leadership in LA failed the population. The Democratic leaders of California failed LA. Can we be honest? You had a black mayor in DC. Black mayor in DC, black police chief in DC. Can we be honest about where the accountability needs to lie? You say you want a black mayor. You say you want a black chief. Well, you had a black mayor and a black chief. Why didn't you solve the problem? And Trump would not be there. In LA, you had a black mayor and a chief, a Democratic governor. If you needed that, why didn't you fix the problem? Black mayor, black chief, racism. Democrats think racism fixes everything. The Democrat answer is put a black woman in it. If you ask the Democrats, how do we fix LA? Put a black woman. How do we fix DC? Put a black woman. Well, race is not going to fix DC. Racism is not going to fix LA. If you hire a black woman that don't do shit for crime in the DC, in Milwaukee, black governor, black mayor in Chicago, has that helped anything? The Democrats say, hire a black woman. Your mama black. Your mama black. Somebody call me. I know y'all ready to call me a name in the chat. They call me so many bad names in the chat. I get so many trolls. They call me so many bad names. All day, they just talk bad about me. I pray before I do this because it's not easy doing the live stream. I got to pray. I got to work out. I got to eat right because the trolls be mean, boy. They be mean and they don't care about the facts. See, there are real people. There are black people, white people, brown people who live in DC and they're afraid. I live in California. I was in a Walmart. Where 20 people ran in the store and they took whatever they wanted. I'm a big, strong guy. Think about this. I'm a big, strong guy. I was terrified. I was scared. What am I going to do when these 20 people run in the store? I've never experienced this. 20 people hungry, homeless. They ran in the store, grabbed whatever they want. Everybody, all the people in the store, we were all scared. Employees and customers. All we wanted was them to leave the store. I couldn't believe it. I never saw anything like it. And I'm going to tell you, I don't want to live in that. You don't want to live in the world where people run in the store, 20 people, you have your wife and your kids. They could take whatever they want. This is America. What is going on in America where you can be at a Walmart and 20 people run in because Gavin Newsom changed the law? Because Gavin Newsom don't want it to be America. They want it to be a socialist country. And they say you could steal Gavin Newsom. You know what would have been great? A job. If you would have made Elon Musk build Tesla here, but we didn't get Tesla. We got $1,000 to steal. Gavin Newsom said, I could get you a job or you could steal. Gavin Newsom said, go ahead and steal from Walmart. I'm not going to get Tesla to stay here so you can have a job and earn an honest living, but I will make it legal for you to steal. I don't want that, Gavin Newsom. They said you can steal $1,000 as much as you want, but I'm not going to get you a job. I'm going to let Tesla go to Texas. And then I'm going to make you hate Tesla. Oh, fuck Elon Musk. Oh, we don't like Tesla. Oh, he likes Tesla. Oh, he's a PDF. Oh, fuck Elon Musk. Oh, we don't like Tesla. Oh, yeah? Well, you don't want a job. You don't want a job. While the Democrats told you to hate Elon Musk, you lost jobs in California. Not regular jobs, the high-paying jobs of the future. SpaceX, Tesla. You didn't lose Walmart jobs. You lost the jobs of the future. And well, you know what you got in exchange for losing the jobs of the future? You got anger. You got hate. The Democrats traded you. Here, take my hate. Take this anger and give me that Tesla job. That Tesla job, going to Texas, but you get to hate Elon. You get to protest. Yeah, go ahead, protest. Steal whatever you want, protest, and burn down the car. I'm not going to put you in jail, but you can't have a job. No. The job is going to Texas. The jobs are going to Texas. You don't get the job. You get to steal and you get to protest. You get to pick. You get to steal, protest, or job. What you want. If you want a job, go to Texas. If you're going to stay in California, no job. You get to steal and protest. What we do in California is steal up to $1,000 and burn shit down. You don't get a Tesla plant. No all caps, Jack. No all caps. You can get booted for the all caps. No all caps. You could disagree. No all caps. Who gonna be the next city? Who gonna be the next city? Shreveport, Chicago, Milwaukee. Who is a PDF? There's this Drakeify. So I watched this great cartoon. It was Gumball. I like Gumball. And Gumball had a cartoon about everything being mid. And I noticed it before I watched the cartoon. I was telling my colleague, I said, this generation don't recognize what's happening. And they call everything mid, then everything will become mid because nobody will know how to be exceptional. Right? So Gumball had a cartoon where they had a review system. And then Gumball created a website where he would review everybody 1 star, 1 star. And everything was mid. So all the people kept rating, oh, this ain't good. I had this before. Just like you see on YouTube. Just like the people in the chat. Oh, this ain't good. I had this before. This is mid. And then what you have is people forget what exceptional is. Because everybody, when they come into a situation, wants to be a critic, and everything is mediocre. And then it becomes, well, you don't remember what exceptionalism looks like or tastes like. Because the only thing you know is mediocrity. And that was by design. And our younger generation doesn't realize what's happening with this terminology of everything being mid. You're missing everything. You're missing everything. Everything. If you think everything is mid, then everything will be mid. So there's this Drakeification. There's this Drakeification. There's this Drakeification that's going on. So Kendrick Lamar used that word. You can't even use that word. I don't want that word in my chat. You can't even use that word. Don't use that word. So Kendrick Lamar calls Drake a PDF without proof. Can we have a talk this morning? Kendrick Lamar calls Drake a PDF without proof. So Drake is right for suing Kendrick Lamar. I'm from California. I believe Kendrick is a better rapper, but Drake is correct for suing Kendrick Lamar and UMG because there's no proof to him being a PDF. But this is what happened with the young generation. It's like No Diddy. Everybody kept saying No Diddy. Everything was No Diddy. So now, after Kendrick Lamar in that song, A minor, everybody wants to use the term PDF. It's become popularized. But there is a mental health aspect of everybody wanting to call everybody, even without proof, and people it doesn't apply to, a PDF. What does that say about our mental health and what is actually going on with child trafficking? Because we do have a problem with child trafficking. There are real criminals. I just saw a thing about Roblox. I just took my kids off of Roblox. My kids can't play Roblox. There are real child predators out there, but us calling everybody, like calling everything mid, calling everybody a PDF, diminishes the importance of what's actually happening in America. It makes it funny. And it's not a funny issue. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. My kid is not playing Roblox anymore. The video I saw about Roblox made me upset. That made me upset because there are trolls in my chat playing every day. And there are real bad people out there. And it's not President Trump. You idiots. And when they shift the focus, and they have this joke in the chat, and they have this joke all over the internet, and everybody wants to call everybody a PDF, it makes it easy for the real bad people to get away. The real bad people are getting away because this stupid Generation Z, this stupid young people think it's funny. It's not funny, bro. I have little kids. Stop saying that shit in the chat. Stop minimalizing fucking child pain and child grief. Call a fucking police. Stop saying it in my chat. I'm done with that word. Anyone who uses that word in my chat is gone. I'm calling the FBI. I'm calling YouTube. I'm done. I'm done. Now, anybody with that is getting blocked forever, right now. Anybody with the BS is getting blocked forever, right now. You're out of here. This is a podcast with jokes. If you know somebody hurting children, call the police. That's straight up. I'm talking about politics. I'm talking about Trump. I'm talking about politics. If you know an evil person, you call the police. Don't bring that shit to no YouTube podcast, you clowns. No one is taking it serious. Kids being hurt is serious. And when it's like in school, they don't let you say certain words because that word has power. That word is important. And when you call everybody that word, then no one has any power to identify the bad people because the little Gen Zs calls everybody. It became trendy. Oh, did he touch a kid? No, I just called him that to be mean. So how do we know who's touching kids? Because if you troll everyone with that word, how do I know who's the bad guy to protect my kids? I might protect my daughter away from that guy, and you were just trolling him. You just wanted to see him get upset. So you just trolled him like Kendrick trolled Drake. And now we don't know who the bad guys are. Because you young millennials and Gen Zs are so dumb. You think it's fun. PDF. Who's the bad guy? No one knows who the bad guy is when you make it a joke. It's not a joke. Say that shit in my chat again, you gone. You gone, and I'm reporting you to the police. Because you're probably the person that you're talking about. People, a lot of times when they say that, they're talking about themselves. It's a mental health thing, and they're self-identifying. So that's probably your PDFs in my chat. So if you do that, if you say that word, if you come in here and that's the first thing you say, and you think it's funny, you think it's funny to say that and type that in the chat, I'm reporting you to the police. Because somebody needs to talk to you. And somebody needs to ask you, well, why would you bring that up in the podcast that's not talking about that? Are you thinking about being that? Why is that on your brain? He wasn't talking about that. The FBI needs to talk to you. The FBI needs to talk to you. If that's what you think, when you come to a podcast, that's what's on your mind, and you think that's funny, I think the FBI needs to find out why you think that's so funny. I think the police want to know, why do you think That word is so funny because I don't think that word is funny. Just I just had to do that because my chat's not gonna be a place for that. We can have discussions. You guys can have fun. You guys can have fun, but my chat is not gonna be a place where you just come here and just say, 12-year-olds just come, ooh, PDF, ooh, he's a PDF, he's a PDF. No, man, 12-year-olds go somewhere else. I'm gonna call the police. 12-year-olds go somewhere else. I'm gonna call the police, FBI. I'm gonna report you to the FBI and police. 12-year-olds go somewhere else. We are talking about Trump. We are talking about politics. We are talking about Zelenskyy. We're talking about Putin, and we're talking about the next city that the National Guard is gonna go to. That's what we're talking to. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. So that's how we living in here, man. That's how we living. Straight up, man. Straight up. Straight up. Let's see what people we was on that Shreveport, man. I want y'all to see Gavin Newsom. We was on that Shreveport, man. Gavin Newsom talking about Shreveport. And now the big beautiful bill, Shreveport. Let's get back to that Shreveport.
Business owners, normal people with their own incomes. I think everything we're getting right here in Shreveport, Louisiana tells us that this is something the American people really want. Everyone we're talking to at the doors is in full support of renewing the TCJA. Business owners, normal people with their own incomes. I think everything we're getting right here in Shreveport, Louisiana tells us that this is something the American people really want. Everyone we're talking to at the doors is in full support of renewing the TCJA. Business owners, normal people with their own incomes.
You see it. You see it. All facts, baby. The people on the ground want the help. Our grassroots team is hearing it loud and clear. Constituents. Who you heard constituents from? I brought you constituents. Constituents want Trump tax cuts. This is the people on the ground. Shreveport, Louisiana is asking for Trump to come with the National Guard. Let's go, baby. Senate GOP, the people have spoken. Make the TCJA permanent act now. That's what Shreveport is saying right now. Shreveport, Louisiana, right now. That's what we talking about. Crowd pouring out of the convention center. Trump event headed. This is just the facts right now, man. This is just the facts right now.
Speaker Johnson's district that has 6+ times the per capita murder rate of Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco. What about the carnage, Mr. President, in Shreveport? Why aren't you protecting the folks there? 8 of the top 10 murder states in this country, red states. What bullshit. And everyone knows it. Everybody knows it. Again, it's acts of authoritarianism. It's acts of power on a person that is trying to use his its formal authority, and it's depleting. And it's weak. It's increasingly weak, and it's increasingly desperate. And that's why it's important for us at this moment to meet him head on, not just rhetorically, but through substantive counteractions. And that's what we're doing in California with this ballot initiative.
Why is it personal for the Democrats? Why is it Trump on some personal power trip? Why don't you talk about big balls and the carjacking? Why don't you talk about the chief and the mayor begging for help? Why not talk about defund the police? Why not talk about democratic, liberal, socialist policies that have led to single parent homes? Why not be honest about the effect of the single parent home? You want to talk about Project 2025, but why not talk about why do you have 20 to 30 teenagers running around DC committing carjackings day after day, night after night? You're not telling the whole picture. Trump is meeting with Putin. Can we have an honest talk when you hear Democratic propaganda like this, talking about Trump wants power and Trump is meeting with fucking Putin, jerk. Trump is meeting with Putin and Zelenskyy. He doesn't care. He's not trying to take over your city. He's trying to deal with global geopolitical issues that the people elected him for. Why say it's a personal thing? Why are you trying to lie to the American people and say Trump is some personal demon? Like Trump has some type of evil streak. He don't care about San Francisco. He don't care about LA. He's a billionaire. He promised to make America great. And you didn't do your job. You didn't do your job. You didn't do your job. The black female mayor of LA, the black female mayor of DC, the black female chief of police did not do their job. Can we be honest? You got a black female mayor, black female chief of police. According to the Democrats, that should have been enough. That should have been enough to fix everything. Why ain't it fixed? Why did you need Trump? And why is it Trump's fault? Why is it Trump? Trump didn't do the carjacking. Trump is married. Trump don't got 20, 30 kids on the street robbing people. Trump ain't part of the cartel selling illegal marijuana in California. It's so easy. Why? You leave everything out, Gavin? You leave all the facts out. All the facts about the crime. What about the Crips and the Bloods? What about people being murdered at Roscoe's? What about people being attacked at the airport? What about all the people being murdered in mansions? Pop Smoke, murdered in a mansion, murdered and robbed. P&B Rock at Roscoe's having breakfast, murdered and robbed in LA in broad daylight. In broad daylight in Los Angeles, it had become trendy. People were getting murdered and robbed almost every weekend to where LA was saying, check in. Criminals in LA were telling people, if you come to LA, you need permission from the criminal culture. The criminal culture, the criminal element in LA had got so brazen and so prolific that they put in rap songs like a commercial. If you travel to Los Angeles, you need permission from criminals. Can somebody tell me the chat? Because I'm working right now. Come on, tell me in the chat. Can somebody be honest? The criminals in Los Angeles called it checking in. The criminals in Los Angeles got so brazen that they put in rap song commercials that if you did not check in with the criminal element in Los Angeles, you could be murdered and robbed when visiting Los Angeles. That is the truth. That is the truth. Why doesn't Gavin Newsom talk about checking in? Huh? Why doesn't Gavin Newsom talk about checking in? And the criminals being so brazen that they would announce on YouTube video that if you don't check in with, not the police, the criminals in LA said, if you don't get permission from the criminal gang member to visit LA, you could get murdered and robbed. That's why LA was the first city Trump sent the National Guard. That's why Trump sent LA the first city, because of those things. Straight up. Now we got law and order again. Now we got law and order again. Not the checking in. Now we got law and order in Los Angeles, DC. And DC is cleaned up. Los Angeles is cleaned up. And the people of Chicago, they want Trump to send the National Guard to Chicago next. They want Trump to send the National Guard to Shreveport next. policing the chat, man. It's a lot of work. I gotta do the podcast. I gotta keep the funny, keep the jokes going. I gotta police the chat, man. It's a lot. Hey, man, I had a birthday this weekend. Y'all subscribe, man. Join the channel, $2 holler. The summer special is still going. You can still become a member of the channel for $2 right now. Right now, you can still become a member of the channel for $2, man. It's like 2 cents a day. You get access to special emojis, special member-only videos, special member-only live streams, special member-only shorts, exclusive posts, and early access to content by becoming a member of the channel right now for $2. Become a member, but in order to become a member, you got to subscribe. So you got to like the channel right now. You double tap the screen. There's a lot of people watching. 65% of the people watching me are watching me on the cell phone. Those of you watching me on the cell phone, if you double tap the screen, you can like the video. That helps the video get out there. Support the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe in the top left right hand corner. You got those 3 dots. Those 3 dots are called an ellipsis. A lot of people who watch me over the age of 40 and 50 years old, you may see these 3 dots a lot of places on the internet. You may never have known that they were called an ellipsis. These ellipses give you options. They give you choices. Anywhere on the internet, anywhere you see a YouTube video, you see those 3 dots, go ahead and click those 3 dots. They're called an ellipsis. They'll give you choices. Things that you may want to do to support or not support the content creator. Hit those 3 dot ellipsis right now. You can like, share, subscribe. Support the channel right now. Double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. CC360, man, how you doing? Good to see you. That's one of my regulars in the building. Oreo cookie to max sellout. Don't forget your milk bar. Okay. Double tap, like, share, and subscribe. Don't worry, I got it, you guys. I'm on my job. I'm doing everything all at the same time, man. We can get it all done, man. We can get it all done. Don't even trip, man. We can get it all done, man, because God is good, man. We blessed, man. Blessed weekend, beautiful day. We in the 80s. I mean, this is the summertime that we love right here. California, man, you can ride motorcycles. There's so many motorcycles you can drop your top. Because, you know, when you get above 90 degrees, if you ride a motorcycle, if you got your top drop, you can have a sunburn. But right now, we got that beautiful 88 degrees, man. It's gorgeous right now in California, man. So this is the summertime that we all love, man. This is what it's all about, man. So I know it's a beautiful day. I don't know why so many haters, you know what I'm saying, on such a beautiful day, you know what I'm saying, but still they exist. Fort Lauderdale D said, did you check in? Hey, man. Hey, that's a good one, man. That's a good. Hey, you know what? I was watching, what was it, Mav Hoffa, Expert Opinion. And, you know, being from California, all of us are territorial in America. And Mav Hoffa, and, you know, he's a rapper. He was talking about the check-in process. And he's a New York rapper. And he was saying how, and I could see how personal he took it. He did not like that. As an American, he's in New York doing an interview. He said, man, what's up with this check-in thing in LA? He said, I don't understand in an American city where you could be allowed to tell people that you have to check in. He's like, I don't dig that. And he would ask the LA rap, and they would all laugh. Oh, you know, just call me. You know, it's all good. You know, and Math, they didn't get it. They didn't understand the perspective he was coming from. Like, you guys understand that that's an American city. Like, we all live in America. We all supposed to be able to travel wherever. And now you guys, criminals, have put out there that you can't travel to an American city. I remember the way people outside of California felt about that. When P&B Rock was murdered, when Pop Smoke was murdered, a lot of people did not appreciate the fact that the response to those murders were LA criminals saying, you better call me or else you're going to get murdered. That was the response from LA, and nothing from Gavin Newsom. The whole reason we're talking about this is because the mayor of LA and the governor of California failed the citizens of the country, because everybody goes to LA. Everybody goes to LA for Disneyland. Everybody wants to go to LA. And your democratic leadership here failed you. They failed the citizens. And people outside, and this is why, another reason why LA suffers, because people outside of LA stop traveling. That really affect those murders. If we be honest in the chat, those murders affected tourism. And people looked at Los Angeles as a place I don't want to visit anymore. Not only are the people in Los Angeles robbing and killing people from out of town, but they are so brazen that they doing commercials. They doing rap songs telling people, check in. You better check in. You better check in. So LA lost. This is the result of Democratic sanctuary cities and Democratic liberal policies. Crime goes up, and then the money goes down because businesses like Tesla, Walgreens, there are no more Walgreens, Denny's, all these businesses have left. The other day I was watching the news and they said the last Denny's in Oakland closed. This is an American city. What do you mean? This is an American city. There are no Denny's in Oakland. There are no Denny's in San Francisco. There are no Walgreens. They closed them all because of so much crime and looting and homelessness. So now you have an American city that's like a third world. So when you hear the Republicans saying some of these cities are like Haiti, some of these cities are like a third world country, it's because everything is boarded up and everything is gone. The last Denny's closed down. No more Walgreens. If everything is closed in these are San Francisco, Oakland, these are major American cities. People travel from Paris around the world to come to the Bay Area. People go to San Francisco and the Golden Gate Bridge from around the globe, and they won't be able to go to a Walgreens. They won't be able to go to a Denny. These companies are leaving. Macy's, JCPenney, Sears are leaving because Gavin Newsom's policy that you can steal up to $1,000. They just closing down businesses. They're closing up shop and leaving California. They already left San Francisco. They already left Oakland. So what is it that you want? This is a great conversation. What is it that you want? Because Gavin Newsom is sitting here lying to you. Gavin Newsom let Tesla leave. Gavin Newsom let Los Angeles burn up. And then he doesn't want the National Guard to come to Los Angeles and stop all the violence and stop people from having to check in. So Gavin Newsom, what do you want? What do you want? Because you seem to be okay with the Crips and the Bloods making everybody check in. I never heard Gavin Newsom speak against that culture. Did anybody hear Gavin Newsom or the mayor of LA speak against check-in culture? I never did. I never heard them speak against check-in culture, gang culture, never. But Trump sends in the National Guard, and now Gavin Newsom says Trump is some type of king. Trump did that because he wants to be king, not because of your failure as governor. Not because of your failure as governor. This is the part that gets me excited. This is the part that should get you excited. So Trump went to DC because he wants to be king, not because the black female mayor and the black female chief of police didn't get the job done. You see how that works? You had a black female mayor, a black female chief of police. What about Memphis? Black female chief of police. What's going on with all these? You said racism would be, DEI would fix everything. Just put a black woman. She's not only black, it's a woman too, because that's two birds with one stone. If you know anything about affirmative action, they hire black women because it's a black and it's a woman. And they have to fill these quotas. They got to fill these boxes. How many blacks do you have? How many women do you have? How do I check the box at the same time? The government DEI says I have to hire more black people. I have to hire more women. So what's easy for me to do? Well, if I hire a black woman, I check two boxes with one hire. If I hire a black woman, I check two boxes of the DEI graph with one hire. Did you guys know that? That's why black men don't have jobs. Black men got screwed with DEI. Why? Because why hire a black man when I can hire a black woman? If I hire a black woman, that makes me look better as a manager because I'm checking off all the boxes. Hey, Biden administration wants to know how many blacks and how many women. Oh, I got a lot. What you got? I got over 100%. How do you get over 100%? I have all black women. My managers and my employees are all black women. So I'm over 100% when it comes to DEI ratios because I hired double. I had 10 jobs. I hired all black women. So that means I get to check the box twice. When you look at my numbers, I'm over 100%. Promote me. I'm a great manager. I hire all black women. I'm great for DEI. I'm great for DEI. Y'all didn't know why you have all these black women in these powerful positions? It's DEI. And you get to check 2 boxes with 1 stone when you hire a black woman. Y'all didn't know that? But it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault. It's not DEI. It's not Obama. It's not the Democrats. It's not the black female mayor. It's not the black female chief of police. It's not the black female district attorney who's not prosecuting the criminals and letting them back out on the jail. No, it's Trump. How the hell do you jump over all of that and get to Trump? Linda Caldwell said, I'm a lost person. Linda, how am I lost, sir? Smart enough. See, black women don't like when you be honest. How am I lost, Linda? I'm being honest. You got a black female mayor in DC. You have a black female chief of police and crime skyrocketing to where 20 or 30. Why didn't those black women call those single mothers? I'm sorry, those single parent households. Why didn't those black women, the mayor and the chief, have a town hall and talk to all of the black people in the community? Because DC is also known as Chocolate City. DC is also known as Chocolate City. So why didn't the black female mayor and the black female chief of police get crime under control? And when they saw those 20 to 30 black kids running around the streets, why didn't they go talk to those black females, black mothers, and get them kids in good? But you, I'm wrong. I'm a traitor. I'm a sellout. But you got what you wanted. Okay, fine. I'm the traitor. I'm the sellout. Please tell me, why didn't the black female mayor and black female chief of police fix all your problems? Because I am the problem. Remember, me, black man, me and Trump, the black man and the white man, I am the blame for all of your problems, right? I'll give you that. I am the blame for all of your problems. So, hey, tell me, why didn't the black woman mayor and black woman chief fix everything? Because that's it, right? That should have solved, that's the cheat code. The cheat code is black women need to run everything, right? So why did DC become such a shit ball, a bag of shit, under the leadership of 2 black women, and they ain't got no answers? Please explain it in the chat. If I'm the bad guy, what's the stats on SLC, the immigrant? Or come on, tell me. If I'm the bad guy, you had what you want, Democrats. You had a black female mayor, a black female chief of police. There should be no problem. Trump should have been able to just walk around DC. It should have been the Chocolate City, should have been the land of milk and honey. It should have been the nicest city in America by democratic socialist standards. Think about your logic, because every day in the chat they want to troll, right? I ask you, what is your dream? What do you want? Well, guess what? You had your dream come true. It's just like Chaz, right? You got a city that was free. What did you do with Chaz? You start killing people and playing with kids. So now DC is your ideal dream, right? You had a black female mayor, all black female leadership. What happened? What happened? What happened? Why isn't that part of the discussion? Why isn't that part of the discussion? Why are these facts left out? DC been in shambles since the 80s. DC been in Democrat. Remember when the Democrat mayor in DC smoked crack? And DC reelected the crackhead. Can we have an honest talk? I'm not the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. DC had a mayor who got caught smoking crack cocaine on tape, and they re-elected him. Can we be honest? That is the truth. I am not lying. DC has had black Democratic leadership. I gotta go. I love you guys. It's been broken since the 80s. Then you can't totally fault the black woman. I'm not. I'm saying don't blame Trump. I'm just saying they said in order to fix DC, in order to fix democratic cities, DEI, you need DEI. I'm just saying, you got your dream, you got your wish. I'm not blaming them. I just said, hey, you got a black female mayor, black female chief, DC should be fixed. I didn't say it's their fault. I'm saying in order to democratic logic told me, DEI told me that these black women would fix my world. Feminism. Oh man, I gotta go get my son, man. I love you guys. It's 3:10.